Z159 FM.
Easy now, my crazy selector, tear it up, turn up, turn up, turn up. Live and direct, straight out of Orlando, Florida. Fire burn, fire burn, fire burn. Sound the big alarm, it's time and done, running wild, wild and wild. Strictly for the pool and the posse, y'all them roll out, y'all them roll out, y'all them roll out. Mad rude boy style. Full effect. Ride the rhythm rough. Tom and Dan mash it up. Original low town sound clash. Murderation. Boom shot. Be up Tom and Dan. Saying champion sound blazing from the swamps to the sun. All tight, all massive. We turn it up till morning light. Till morning light. Till morning light. Strictly real, no falla. Vibes are explode, lightning flash, thunder roll. Wheel it up, selector. We run it again. Bless up every yardie, every foreign commandant, family for life. Commandant. On the earwaves, Orlando mash up session. All lovers, all put on the chasers, come forward. Straight from the heart of Old Town. No apology. We are this, hear that, hear everything. It's Tom and Dan time. From the little yard to the big world, Tom and Dan rule the nation. On the earwaves, Orlando mash-up session. All lovers, all pull on the chasers, come forward. Straight from the heart of Old Town. No apology. We are this, hear that, hear everything. It's Tom and Dan time. From the little yard to the big world, Tom and Dan rule the nation. Rock station, Z159 FM. Right. Your only home for the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show and Dump 'em Out Fridays.
Ooh, yeah, Hot Tub and Mini Fridge. Keep me cold and hot.
Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? So I don't know how we're gonna do, how we're gonna like position things perfectly because we have a lot more area to play with. Good to see you guys. What's up, everybody? Let's see here. Who's let me give some love to everybody. I'm not doing what I normally do. You look good there, buddy.
Daniel installed some new cameras.
I did. Hold on. Let me turn you up there. Let me get rid of this music. All right. There we go. How do we sound? How do we look? I look shorter. The new cameras make me... Did you know how hideously small I am?
I knew that.
The cameras, though, now, I'm like, whoa, look how small I am.
They make you smaller?
The old cameras made me taller and fatter. The new cameras make me smaller.
No, all right.
Like, look how little I am on this camera. You can't see it, because I also bought the smallest monitor you can buy.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
didn't
Yeah.
know,
It's probably more expensive than
No, it was cheap. It was really cheap.
Oh, okay.
It was like a $48. This is what you get for buying something this horribly cheap.
Because I know like mid-sized TVs are like more expensive than they should be.
Small TVs are really expensive
relative to like 50 and 60-inch TVs. Like you get a 35-inch TV, it's fucking $50 less than a 60-inch TV. You know what I'm saying? Like.
While we're sitting here, I'm going to play with our cameras a little bit. See, like, now we have enough room to, like, fuck with shit. I can take Tom out of here and, like, kind of organize him a little better, you know. Tom cam, day and date. There we go. Day and date on the Tom cam. It's all going to be a process, Tom. Get this stupid shit all organized. Okay. There we go. And then for me, I can do the same thing. Okay, let me go to me. And cam. Nope, wrong button. Shit. It's going to take some getting used to, buddy.
All good.
Also, smaller monitor means when I look at stuff, I have to have my glasses.
It's the size of an iPhone.
It's very small. It's the tiniest monitor. Okay, that's too big for me. All right, there, it's better. Okay. How do we look? There we are. It's looking at the camera, buddy. How do we look? That's better, right? I think it's way better. Now, okay, now I got to copy these settings to everything else. Hold on, give me 1 second while I do this.
I text Ross.
Yep.
But I haven't heard back yet.
Uh-oh. He's fine. Boom. There's that. You know what? I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that. Or maybe I will. Yep, like that. Back to here. Dan cam. Copy transform. Back to here. Dan cam. Paste transform. Wait. Yes, sir.
I will say it was hot when I first got to New York. Like in fact, like I was walking around, I was like, God damn, I should have wore shorts. You know, I was like, I'm in New York, I should wear jeans and shoes. But I was like, it was so hot the first 2 days we were there. Then a cold front came through, and then it was cold. And then I was like, I forgot about up north.
Does it
people are
change
hot
more,
and then cold is weird to get.
Does it seem like it changes more like there? Do you think it changes there more than it changes here?
Yeah. I think they go through periods of like more extreme weather change than we see down here. Could be wrong, but it was, it was uncomfortable to wear jeans one day, and then we were fucking freezing the next. I was like, God damn, I should have brought more jackets.
Do you want to start?
Well, I don't know. I mean, do we just do we wait for Ross, or do we just
wait
start?
for him? Whatever you want to do. Paste transform. Yes. But it didn't do it. It's not working, you motherfucker.
What are you doing?
So I'm trying to. You can go in and you can copy, like the way I look and the way you look, in order for every frame to look the same. See, like you can't really. Let's see if you can see this. Can you see that barely? Now see when I go. See how I'm different size, but you're the same size. What the fuck is that? Oh, I hope he finally has a gun. Hey, buddy. How are you? You scared the fuck out of us. I like that. All right. Did you go to Cat's Deli? Somebody's asking.
I that was one thing that we
Oh, you can move that. Yeah, it's just my garbage. Sorry. I'm trying to get this camera.
The only, I guess, restaurant of this, like a famous restaurant we went to, was the Pizza.
I do love a CC's Pizza.
I mean, if you want to eat as much pizza as you can.
It's Ellie's Diner or something like that. It's the
Is that Seinfeld Diner?
No, it's a restaurant that I guess a bunch of either current or people that are want to be on Broadway. Basically, all the waiters and waitresses sing like songs through the whole night or whatever, and so they're performing like Broadway songs or just regular songs or whatever. They're all really talented singers.
Oh, it's a deli where all the show-offs who couldn't make it on Broadway were.
Yeah. And
I'm zooming in on you, Ross. Keep doing what you're doing.
It is packed.
Whoop. No, you're fine. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Oh,
That's good.
but the other and I was going to talk about it on the show, but like everybody's like, New York food is good, but that's relative to where you go. Right? Yeah. It's just like everywhere. Sure. It's like you can't say.
And how much you're willing to spend.
Yeah. But also, like, you have, when you tell me in a broad statement, like, oh, yeah, you got to try the food in New York, you got to tell me the restaurant to go to.
I had raviolis from a can in New York, and they were just like they are here. What the hell?
Yeah. And so you got to tell me, go to this particular place, because the food's going to vary dependent on the restaurant you go to, or what
Given that
then
there
all
are,
can be good.
I think, like 7 million restaurants.
Yeah. Anyway,
it would be weird if they all had the exact same menu. You go to New York.
I know that's stupid to say.
Every single place has the same menu: pizza place on the corner, fancy steakhouse.
But why I even say that is I take people too literally too. It's the fucking chainsaw brain in me. But when like multiple people, they heard I was going to New York, you're like, oh, the food in New York's great. And then so it was that broad of a statement. And then I was like, okay, well then that.
I'm going to prove you wrong.
No, it's not that. It's you got to tell me
everything wanting to prove the person wrong.
But it's not even, no.
He should have tried and put a positive spin on what he does, but he can't. You can't.
But
you go into everything trying to destroy what other people said.
Yeah, but it can't just.
Ross says, this is a great sword. Give me the sword, and I'm going to show you why it's not great. Yeah, exactly.
Well, just tell me where. Like, I wouldn't ever be like, hey, the food is great in Florida. Well, that's absurd to say. You have to tell me, hey, go this restaurant exactly is where I ate and I found the food good.
But you might say you're going to Europe soon and you're talking to a European guy and he's like, hey, I'm going to Orlando. You might be like, yeah, oh, you know what? We got a ton of theme parks. The theme parks are great in Orlando. Like, you don't tell him Disney or Universal or like Holy Land. You let him figure that out on his own.
What are we talking about? This is pretty good.
Yeah. No,
this is kind of funny to talk about.
That is correct. Although you'd be more correct.
You're right, but here's how you're wrong.
Crystal told me on the plane that she hates people like this. She was describing my personality. And, yeah, this is insulting.
Yeah, no. Hold on. This is show.
Okay.
This is recorded, yeah.
God damn it. How do you, there's one thing I don't know how to do, and I know how to do it on my other computer.
Is it love again, Dan?
It's love.
Crystal's watching.
Oh, I got it. I did it.
Some Netflix therapy show. It's
never let him watch that.
Sounds
never let him watch that shit. What are you doing?
And it's just some show about like couples therapy, and then they film it or whatever, and then anyway, she's like telling me all about it, and I'm like pretending to be interested, and then she's like, and there's this one guy that I hate, and then proceeds.
I call him you.
proceeds to. I mean, she never said it was.
He's a podcaster. He used to wear a bear suit. And
no. She's describing this person's personality,
Yeah, okay.
and
That's gonna have to work for right now. All right.
It's eerily similar to my personality, I think. She was like, this person is just focused on having to be right, and then also like one word is off, and then he'll focus on that word and be like, well, it can't all be that. As she's telling me this, I'm like, are you describing me? Like, how much could you actually hate this person?
The thing, it's not a hate. It's the thing I think about is how torturous it is for you. Because I'm like, like just sitting there and just questioning question, like to me it sounds terrible because it's a lot.
Well, don't you want to know why things are done?
Don't care.
How can you not care? It's everything.
Don't care. There's so much I don't care
everything
about. You
is
should see the list of things I don't care about.
Why are you telling me the food in New York is great?
He came back to it. All right, would you
that's
like to
a weird thing because it's not all good. You know that.
Would you like to start?
I don't know.
Because, okay, this is new for me, but I think I got it dialed in.
Excellent.
All right. That looks really, Ross, you look fucking great on there. I'm happy with this, but it's going to be a process, so I apologize to everybody. I apologize to you because I like to do this snappy, and it's less snappy today, and I'm going to try my hardest not to freak out. Mr. Van, would you like to begin?
Sure.
Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube with brand new cameras that I would like for you to go over and check them out and tell me what I did wrong. Just search at Tom and Dan Live on Twitch and YouTube. Our buddy Eric, or SJ, has been helping me over the weekend. We loaded in some brand new, hey, we went from 720p 4K. We are now a 4K show.
We were only at 720?
Yeah.
What were the
you,
90s?
You've kept me there for a very long time, this guy. Yeah, do you know how I had a trouble ticket in for 4K cameras for 10 years?
Well,
10 years I've been waiting on these 4K cameras.
You said Twitch and YouTube can
this
only
is like
broadcast at a certain rate.
This is like getting a toilet seat at the Pentagon. It took forever, and it was 3,000 times the price. But we finally got it done. And welcome to 2008, everybody. We have 4K cameras in our studio.
Well, no, you said Twitch can't even broadcast at 4K.
Go check them out. Everybody likes it. They say you're more toothy now. We can see our teeth now. You can see the gleam of our eyes. You can see how old I look. I look so old.
You know,
oh, Ross McCoy. Did you introduce Ross McCoy?
Ross
here,
is here.
everybody.
Hey, guys.
I want to give you a proper... Hold on. I'm going to give you a... Oh, I lost all my stuff. I don't even know
It's hard lap. Just up on the shelf, right by Snarts. Right by Mr. Snarts.
Yes! A blast for you, sir. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. All right, everything's working.
Yeah, you can't get new cameras when you're wasting all that money on voicemail, right?
True.
$80 a month?
It's more than that.
What other do they provide?
You know what? I owe you after the show. That's probably the sneakiest. I'm gonna hide this and bring it back up thing. I want to hug you right now. That was Daniel Dennis level good.
Thank you.
Holy crap, that was instigating.
Wow. I'll take it. Cheers.
Yeah, dude, that was fantastic. He's gonna think about that all day now.
Yeah, yeah.
It was $89, not $80. $89.
Oh my God.
That's a $90.
It's $90
That's
a month.
$90.
Yeah.
we could just make our voicemails up. We really, like they never
Maybe
say
we are.
anything.
Maybe we are.
Anyway.
Do you know if we're making them up or not?
Maybe everybody else does.
Do you know
too.
if we
Who
make up
knows?
our voicemails or not? I know for a fact that every other show on radio, every email is fake. I know for a fact. For a fact.
Real quick, why didn't you guys tell me that I smile weird?
You don't smile weird. What are you talking about?
Well,
We definitely have. You just don't listen.
like Melissa has been clowning me lately.
You did this in all of your family photos. You turn and look to the camera like
like a psycho. I look like
I
a psycho.
shave my pubes. It's the I shave my pubes look.
I never noticed.
It's the face that every Halloween Horror Nights character has underneath their makeup.
Yeah. yeah.
What the hell?
Character. They're
wrong
called
with me?
characters. You have
Yeah.
a character smile.
Exactly.
Have you worked on your smile? I'm gonna insult you and my wife at the same time. You and my wife have horrible smiles when you're forced to smile.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you do
yeah.
a natural smile, you have great smiles. If
Yeah,
I ask
it's hard to
you-
fake a smile.
If I ask logical people like Andrea and you guys have so many similarities, she hates to hear this. You probably love to hear it because it's weird. It's offset relationship, but they have so many things that are the same. And if I ask Tom to, I go smile. He can't do it. If I tell my wife we're taking a photo, I'll go, hey, give me a smile. Can't do it. They can't do it.
Well, because I want to be genuine. It seems like a lie.
That's your mistake. I have learned when taking pictures how to set my mouth, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like how I think my face should act.
Yes,
but
yeah.
I've learned how to set my lips and look at the camera so that it in the picture will appear that I'm smiling and a good
Pro
person.
move.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
That's what a pro
teach me
comedian.
how
That's
to
what a pro
smile.
level
Yeah.
comedian.
Teach me your ways. Because I have a psycho smile,
You wanna
and
hear a funny
everybody's
story?
Right.
clowning
Do you want to
it.
hear
Yeah.
a really funny story?
What?
I don't even know if I've ever said this story. Okay, very early on, when Andrea and I got together, and it was official. It was one of the first times that I ever really interjected her into anything radio. There used to be a web board. Right? Ross knows that there used to be a very and
Yeah.
extremely active web
I'm
board.
probably sitting here because of it. Yeah.
And I got the great idea of thinking that if I reached out to these people and commandeered their help to try and vote for my wife for some broadcasting award. It was a broadcasting thing within because she was still working at the radio station.
yeah.
She still had hopes of being a broadcaster. So I wanted to
And web boards were the original social media.
Correct.
Yeah, it was like a way to interact with other people.
like a
or
highly
groups.
specific Reddit.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Perfectly
r/local
said.
talk radio, basically.
I
yeah.
actually wish we had it back because it would be
I mean,
and we'll probably
we could start r/Orlando Radio today and have it back.
You know it's coming back. Everything's so hyper specific now that it is coming back. Anyway, so I put on there that I'm like, hey, help my wife vote for this thing. Well, she had gone out earlier that day with some coworkers because she needed a headshot for this thing to be voted for, right? To be voted on.
Yeah.
And they took a photo of her. And they did the quintessential, and she looked great. My wife's beautiful, but they did the quintessential thing where they went to take a photo of her, and then they're like, hey, give me a smile. And she did a fake smile. She did the Tom or the Andrea. She couldn't do it. And then I put it on the
No,
web board.
she gave it a genuine smile, which doesn't look good to the camera. It just looks great in
okay,
person.
yeah, you might be right on that.
She did her genuine, hey, it's me and I'm happy smile,
Yeah.
but the camera does something to that and makes it weird.
Yeah, and it ruined the smile. So then
Yeah.
when I put the picture up, everybody started. It's the first time I ever realized it, and everybody's like, "Why she looks like she's smelling a fart? Why she look like she's smelling a fart?" And then it was like, now they still helped her, and she still got a lot of voting. But it was the first time that I realized
They pointed out
that
her
you
psycho
and my
smile.
wife have the psycho smile
Yeah.
because you're not psychos.
They-
Maybe you.
No, it's because we have a hard time.
Your boys don't do it.
Smiling.
Max is a
unless-
top tier level model smile. Like when you look at Max Van's smile, it is a top tier level. Oh, let me purchase whatever that young man is selling in his commercial. Tommy has it too. They have good smiles.
I don't know what that is. It's some weird.
You're in your own head. You're overthinking your smile.
I'm just like smile.
Oh, don't do
Right.
that. What
Yes,
is that?
exactly.
Wait, hold on. let
I'm
me put
doing
it-
the
Exactly.
textbook definition of what a smile is.
Right.
It's not. I can't pretend to be happy. I'm not happy.
Maybe
right
this
now.
is a deeper issue. Maybe you just can't smile. Maybe it's like skipping.
Someone should say, "Be happy," and then maybe that would
Bobby McFerrin, famous.
trigger
Okay,
a different emotion.
So, okay, I see what you're saying.
even though there's no really emotion behind it, it's just it's like, hey, pretend to laugh. Maybe that would
Over
be
here,
easier.
show your teeth.
So from now on, if you want a selfie with Tom, like right when you're about to take the picture, start playing Katrina and the Waves. Just play Walking on Sunshine.
It's a great song.
Oh my God.
I've tried to remedy it by opening my mouth and doing the open mouth
I don't like that.
surprise.
Yeah.
And that comes off Psycho too.
You're halfway there.
I haven't figured
That's
that
called
out.
Psycho Takes a Breath.
You're halfway there. Open mouth surprise with just a little bit of crinkle at the corners, and then you have to look at the camera the right way, and that's that's
okay,
your
well,
picture
teach me
smile.
after the show.
I'm trying.
It's a little bit of this. It's like a...
Yes.
No, that's
Dan
crazy.
knows what to do. Yeah. Yeah.
So real quick,
You got to make a love to the camera.
went,
Can I say that on the radio?
You're fine. You're fine.
went to New York City over the weekend.
New York City, get a rope. Can you still say that? I don't know if you can. I thought about that the other day.
After Smollett,
Without
gets it.
that's good. You should have done a Pace Picante ad starring Jesse Smollett.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
So first, Ross, have you been to Times Square?
No.
Okay. So I
Neither of us have. I've been to upstate New York only, not the city.
So I've seen it a million times. We all have on TV, and we've heard about it our whole lives. And so
A lot of frisbee being played.
we get there, and the first night we're like, let's go to Times Square. We're staying basically 2 blocks away from it. And by the way, do you know how expensive New York is? It's up there.
You didn't mention that at all, which I found weird because normally it will creep into your quote gripes.
Because of course it is.
But you didn't mention any of that. You didn't mention it's crazy or.
But the way, how is it even fair that football players in New York are paid even comparable to football players that live in Florida? And the expense that you have to pay is insane.
Oh,
so,
you got so much more money here.
Like the hotel we stayed at, not even that good, but is obviously Manhattan right down from Times Square.
You're paying for access.
$1,600 for 3 nights. It's like,
yeah, it's a lot.
And,
We're skipping right past like the doormen and like the subway workers of it all. We're going right to the football players. Like it's hard for
He
them.
doesn't value doormen.
It's hard for them in New York.
Everything is valued in football, right? Like,
well, the doormen have to live there. If you're
28
drafted by the Giants, you're like, oh God,
28 million a year doesn't stretch quite as far in New York. Poor baby.
We will go to Times Square, and
I like how quick you got into it too, because I like those trips where it seems like you land and then you're into the world. Those are my favorite trips.
Yeah.
I like the ones where it's like we landed and it was like 10 o'clock and it's like, okay, time to get to getting.
Me and Crystal were talking about this, how just exhausting these trips are because we just go the entire time and never stop
that.
and then just try to pack in as much stuff as possible. But it makes for everybody just miserable the whole time. The kids, us, we're just trying to get to the next destination to see it, and we're like, saw it, go! Back in the subway!
Yeah.
Saw it. Go.
Stamp the book.
Yeah. Just so we can
Don't
be
say it like
pack
killing
it
my
in.
dream. I was like giving you a compliment because I told Andrea, I was like, see, now I always use you guys as like a compliment. I'm like, see, they're doing it right. The dentist is, we'd have to get to the hotel room. Everybody has to take a poop. Then we got to put on special shoes. Then we'll finally get out to the city. I was like, the vans, when they get in, they go right for the airport to get a slice of pizza because they do it right. I always use you guys as like the way to travel. I give you compliments about that stuff.
You can get a lot more done, but it's not fun at all.
Okay.
There's no relaxing or like downtime. Anyway, so Times Square.
I always know it goes in waves of like, filth, crime, dirtiness, and then back to like to clean it up a little bit. I don't know which side of the pendulum are we on right now.
Well, I don't know because it's my first time ever being there, but
Let's
it
go
seemed
weather.
On the garbage side. But I think that's the way it always is. In fact, I was watching TikTok videos, and most of them are making fun of how hard, and like even like Tony Moonjet and other people, other BDMs, when I posted the pictures, they're like, "Ew, you went to Times Square?" Because although
I think you have to if you've never been to New York.
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
it's such a bizarre place to be in. that
Alien planet.
I can only describe it like it's like traveling to a future dystopian society, like The Fifth Element, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then you're walking around and you're like, whoa! Like,
It's that old joke
so
I made about
bizarre.
the doors opening and the guy's like stepping over bodies and it's very dystopian. And you go put on your VR goggles and it's disgusting. It smells like pee.
Yeah, a sea. I mean, just a sea of people from around the world, like everywhere. Everybody's foreign, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now we're getting into it.
No. But
I'm joking.
Like because it's all tourists. Like no New Yorkers, I imagine, are hanging out in Times Square. They're staying away from that place. So it's just a sea of tourists.
And by New Yorkers, you mean football players?
yeah.
There's no New York Jets in Times Square.
Only Giants.
Yeah.
And then like obviously
there's no crying in Doorman.
The LED screens create this bizarre futuristic type.
Yeah, you're being bombarded with advertisements.
all,
this is where we're at, dude.
It's all advertising. It's like being in the future in a movie. It's bizarre.
It's like standing inside VR.
Yeah.
Or like the set of Blade Runner, you know? Like
Yeah.
Except I do like the ships that are flying around the sea, like
Yeah,
Coca-Cola on them and
right.
stuff. And like I was like, dude, when Coca-Cola gets a blimp that flies through the city, I was like, that's
It's
some
like-
stuff.
It is like that. You're
I love
waiting
it.
for the Coca-Cola blimp and then like just being bombarded by advertisements.
And you're so horny because of some naked robot.
I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't shout out the TG Lee blimp.
and then Elmo grabbed Max. He was
Okay,
traumatized by
Now, I
There's
heard you
that
talk
going
about
on.
this. Hold on, like you were counting this, I think, to Tracy. No, so you go there.
Yeah,
I asked you if
there's-
you saw a dirty Mickey Mouse because that's all I
Oh,
wanted
yeah,
was a family photo with a dirty Mickey Mouse.
Make
guess
a cowboy? Is that guy still around?
He's not still around. Apparently, it's
He
funny.
moved.
I heard other
He's
tourists.
super MAGA now, and I think he moved to Florida. I'm not. That's not a
Yeah,
joke.
Oh, I think I said something. You might need to.
Oh, okay, you're good. You're good. I
It's
got you.
but it's all like people in Bobo, Mickey Mouse outfits, Elmo. There's a cool giant gorilla like King Kong. There was like 3 King Kongs, and then they were walking around there. I put it on my Instagram. Crystal and
They should call
Tommy got a
themselves
picture.
We 3 King Kongs.
Is it like in Old West Bordello and they bring down the 3 King Kongs and get to pick
I
one?
don't-
Or do they all have like a block staked out?
Dude, it is so packed and chaos everywhere that it's bizarre. There's like homeless men walking around. There's like a homeless guy in pajamas with his ass hanging out, barefoot.
Oh, he's famous.
That's
Barack
dirty.
Obama.
Which I'm glad my son's got to see.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at that.
Did you go to
bum's
Obama
ass.
Mart?
What is that?
Aren't there some like I wanted you to guys as a fan? Like I thought there was like in New York City there was like a crazy Obama Mart. Like you could hit up some of the weirder things. Like I wanted Dirty Mickey Mouse, Obama Mart, or Obama Fried Chicken. There's some weird stuff within New York City. There's just because there's so many people, you get extra weird stuff.
Well, in Times Square, it's all weird, and it's all scaffolding and garbage and pee-pee.
Is it music? Is it music blasting?
Dude, it's all the advertisements at once, plus the buskers on the street, which I got a gripe with the buskers. So the buskers in Times Square,
Can we
in
stop
particular,
calling them that? That's giving them a level of sophistication I don't believe they deserve. Can we just call them bums with instruments?
Music bums?
Music
No,
bums.
no, it's not even that. So
Musical homeless, unhoused
Yes.
musicians.
I saw some of the actual musician buskers in the subway further away from Times Square, and then I saw a guy like playing saxophone with a bunch of dancing animatronic bunnies.
I've seen that guy.
Yeah, like that's a famous one.
Yeah,
I forgot
he's on
about
TikTok.
the famous.
So you did hit some of the
bums.
things I'm talking
Yeah.
about, the weird, the stuff
Yeah,
that I know
that was-
because of TikTok.
Yeah, but that was random. Like we just saw him. Like I was like, oh, the saxophone guy that plays with all the animatronic
With his
bunnies.
robot friends.
And then we
Did
saw
you guys get interviewed by Billy on the street?
no, but the buskers in Times Square, it's all just dirty costumes, right?
Yeah.
And then the entertainment, like the entertainment buskers, are super lazy because
Nobody cares about him.
there's so many tourists there's turnaround every second that it caused them to not do any impressive things, and I'll explain.
Oh.
So like all
This is like when I went to Washington, D.C., and all the squirrels were so fat. Because like
Yeah,
they're-
there's
everybody's
big
just
fat.
tossing
Right, I remember
popcorn.
this.
Yeah.
yeah.
They won't even run away from
And
it.
that killed your trip.
Nah, it's fine.
It's a good big old fat squirrel.
Good squirrel. for dinner.
Hey.
So the crowd gathered in a circle, and then
Oh, Max could breakdance.
there's
Max
some-
could have breakdanced. You missed your opportunity.
I'll tell you that story later because I did tell Max.
Step on up here, young blood. Oh, it's about to go down. Get in the cipher.
I was
Master Flash.
Yeah, what? Literally, he like you get into a knife fight in New York because your son's a good breakdancer. Oh man.
Well, I was
then-
waiting to see if there were some breakdancing buskers because I couldn't wait to do
push him out there.
the old man messy. You see, like there's no way. Like, hey, I bet like the white man can't jump. But like, hey, my son will battle you for
Watch this
$100.
stall, and boom, he freezes. He holds some crazy stall.
Anyway.
And then while you turn your back, Tommy's playing dice in the alley.
And then the guy blows Max out of the water. I'm like, God damn it. This guy's been breakdancing for 30 years. You go once a week.
He lives on the streets.
Yeah.
Breakdancing.
And you miss a lot of
He
practice.
breakdances for his life.
Anyway.
This guy makes it every Monday, Tuesday.
So the buskers in Times Square are lazy because there's so much free money that they realize like we don't have to do anything crazy impressive to
Just put on a dumb hat. People throw money at you.
so
Like a cat in a hat, like something dated.
Sold.
so they get everybody in a circle, right? And there's two, like I can only describe them as like Polynesian gentlemen that would do like a
I
haka
call
dance,
them
right?
Mauis.
Yeah,
I like to
there's
call them
two
Mauis.
Mauis,
Can you
yeah.
say that? I think you could say that because the movie's coming
Yeah,
back.
they're two Mauis.
Double Maui.
And you could tell that they were
Palomalos?
they were athletic, but also like they're not that athletic. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not ripped gymnasts, but but you could tell they're like maybe they used to be.
Come on, I want to eat you.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah. Like if you were house hunting, they'd have good bones.
Yeah. So they get all these tourists and they pick out 6 from the crowd, and then they.
Oh, did you get picked?
They no, because I'm in the background. And by the way, I realized like don't engage with anybody. Like I forgot that like in big cities and because I don't visit big cities that much, but it's like everybody wants to scam you. Especially because they can pick you out. They
Watch
knew you were a
yourself in them
tourist.
big cities. They'll steal your damn wallet. You don't know what's good for you.
No. Everybody's like, oh, come here. Like, you don't engage with anybody because it's all just they're trying to sell you something.
They want your money. One way or another.
I call it the digital Bahamas.
Right.
Yeah. And so
Scan this QR code for a free bracelet.
Same stuff.
So they get they're all old men that they got for this. And,
Do they look like me? I'm an old man.
They asked them each to donate money. They're like, how much money you got? Like they basically shook them down.
What if you
all
say
like
no?
6 of them.
It's like I'm not giving you anything.
There's one
Maui.
German tourist that only gave $5. Like
The Germans are hard.
They got an old American white guy from the Midwest. He gave $60.
that guy's a mark.
So they get everybody, all these 6 old men in the middle, and then by the way, we're in a crowd around them, and they have space. They got some cones set up, and so they get probably $180 from these 6 old men, right? So they get $180, and then they're all like, oh, and they're hyping the crowd up or whatever, and then they go to the one guy, the more athletic Maui. And they bend them all down. They put them ass to ass, the old men.
All right, now you're gonna human centipede.
And
goddamn Maui.
And then they're doing a joke about
Pretend like you're eating the other Maui's beef.
Yeah, and by the way, this is like a 8-minute build up.
Too long. It's too long. You gotta go quick.
I got Max on my shoulders. It's like hurting at this point, right?
You're doing full Zacchaeus? I like this.
And then all the one Maui does is run and do a front flip over the boat. That was it. And then everybody dispersed fast as hell. And then I was like, all this. And then I was like, God damn. Like that, all of, wasn't even that impressive. Like, and 3 old men side by side. It was 6, like back to back, like how I jumped the Hummers.
Yeah, we know.
And so it was only.
You don't need to show it.
The width of 3 old men's asses and you do a front flip. It's not even that impressive. And then I was like, don't you realize like we've all.
You should have said something to them.
No, I mean they were out of there fast because then to a new group of
I do like street performances.
humanity just keeps on flowing and there's a never-ending amount of these people to get money from and just do a not that impressive.
What was
front flip.
Crystal's take on did she like it? Like
The same thing. It was just like this is bizarre. Like, it's a bizarre place to be in Times Square, at least. The rest of New York City's, I'll tell some stories about it, but it's a pretty normal city. You know, I've been to other cities, but Times Square in particular is a crazy weirdo place to be.
What are the legitimate businesses in and around Times Square? Like, is there like, I don't know, like a 3 for $10 T-shirt shop, or is it all like
gigantic? There's all like M&M store, like huge giant businesses that are around there. Like
but nothing of value, really, right?
It's tourist. I mean, it's just everything is there is all. Tourist
and is it all
crap.
Corporate crap, or is there okay?
Yeah. I mean,
so go to New York and have Sbarros like for real.
People are saying like Sbarro, Red Lobster. Is that really what's around there? Just like big chain restaurants?
Insane.
Because again, it's just like the tourist mecca of the world.
And I guess, you know, with certain perspective, like as Americans, we feel like we can just go have Red Lobster or whatever anytime. But I guess if you come from somewhere where that doesn't exist and you come to New York, I guess maybe there is a certain value to like go to the Times Square, the center,
100%.
and go to like try all the American stuff that you've seen on TV.
It's no different than me going to visit, like sadly, the Eiffel Tower or something, right? Like.
We're Mall of Millennia. We got an M&M store and all that junk.
Also, there were lots of groups of what looked like some sort of missionaries, like young boys and girls from the Midwest that their church...
Human trafficking. This is all human trafficking.
That their church brought them there, and they're all like wearing their church shirt and giving out pamphlets of like spreading the word or whatever. But it was there. It was like I can only describe it as like the mud walk of the Northeast. Because it's funny because I told Crystal, I was like,
so this was a church trip.
Yeah, but specifically to like Times Square, New York, to expose
go right to the heart of the center.
We're spreading the word to the center.
Because it looks like the devil's playground.
It's Pinocchio. It's where Pinocchio went to smoke cigars.
Yes.
The devil's probably inside that Elmo costume.
100%, but you'll never know.
Like, it's all of humanity mushed together with extreme corporate greed.
And it turns out we're bad.
Yeah.
It turns out we're no good.
Homeless, and then the buskers try to steal the tourists' money, and the gluttony of the tourists.
Is
and
there screaming, or do you feel...
Oh, they're screaming.
Do you feel safe
everywhere.
at all? Like, I'm sure you feel safe, but but you don't see like people like running around or anything like crazy.
Dude, it's so bright and so, I mean, there's so many people. You always feel like I can understand not feeling safe in like a subway 3 a.m. by yourself, but you're always in a crowd.
Sandwich artists are like
like you're always in a crowd. Who's there?
I don't know. Hey, thanks for calling a corporate time. Who's this? Oh, I heard you. I heard you say something. Oh, you chickened. Merp. You went merp, and then you chickened out. If I find out who you are, I'm looking into the camera right now. If I find out who you are, I'll never let you live that down.
But you feel safe in a crowd, but like how many stories have you seen like person murdered in front of a crowd in New York City?
Another thing,
people watch stuff go down all the time.
I've always wanted to be in a European country where I got to witness one of those good old machete acts. You know, on a road, just a guy with a machete.
Oh yeah.
The thing I like the most, and I forgot that giant cities are like this, is everybody minds their business. Have to. That's why the dead get walked over, and because you're in such a crowded space.
I'm minding my business here.
And I like that, because I love minding my business.
Yeah.
So
you're really good at it.
So if you had, let's say you poo-pooed your pants by accident, right? And you can
happens
see
to me
it
all the time.
Yeah. Like you see a big poo-poo stain on your butt, right? You'd be normally embarrassed to walk around a crowd.
I thought I had one yesterday, but it was sweat, and I had some teen boys that I'm pretty sure were laughing at me.
But in New York City, no one would care because everybody's minding no one's looking at anybody.
Background noise.
Yes, everybody's just looking at their phone, minding their business. I was like, I like a good mind your business city.
That's why that video of Michael Rappaport yelling at that black guy who's pooping in a bucket is so great. It's like, you can get away with doing that.
Yeah. It seems like you could everybody's just doing their own thing
with enough
in their
time.
own bubble.
You can get away with it.
Also, we asked Bart. Bart's like, just take an Uber from
Bart Merrick from Bart Merrick Realty?
Yes, yeah. Just take an Uber from the airport into the city. It's the easiest way. And then on the way, we did take the trains on the way back. Like, public transit is awesome. And for those that like live with public transit, it's
pretty awesome.
Yeah. We forget. Because
Also for you,
Florida,
it'd be
nothing.
podcast land, right? Like you'd be going to the gym, like a podcast in your ear.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be great.
Like, it's just so easy to go wherever you want, and like that's bizarre to us in Florida.
What are you talking about? I just booked a train trip in August. I'm going to see The Weeknd down in Miami, and I'm taking the Brightline.
Oh, all right.
I'm glad you brought that up. My daughter and wife and their friends went to their dance competition in West Palm, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later, too, on the Brightline.
Imagine if you can get on the Brightline in your backyard through a subway. Like, that's real public transit. Like,
but your backyard does smell like feces. Real
Everything
bad.
is pee-pee.
Real bad.
Everything
And
is
Elmo
pee-pee.
is grabbing your son. He's grabbing him good.
So we took an Uber from the airport into the city, and I also forgot how everybody uses their horn.
Did you wear a fedora
drive.
to feel a little more like
I did not.
New York City?
And so
What's
like,
the Uber like in New York City? Who picks you up?
It's regular, same thing. I mean, nothing that is
I think he's
any
asking
different.
for you to describe the race.
Or car or whatever.
Get a little more descriptive
no,
here,
there's
or were
nothing-
you in full New York minding your business mode?
Oh, yeah.
It's nothing that stuck out as different anyway, but the way people drive is interesting, and this is more of a question for people that have driven in New York, because I analyzed the Uber driver, and like because
You can't tell me one thing about him, but you analyze it.
Well,
No,
only
his
his driving.
behavior.
Only his driving. He might as well have been a computer program.
Yeah.
He didn't see a face. He doesn't know what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Saw the Matrix code.
He
Yeah.
can tell you about literally
well, it's the
how
same
the
thing.
ride was.
Well, it's the same thing in D.C. There's too many ethnicities. There's ones I can't even
You're gonna get 'em wrong.
understand.
I know you're intimidated by that.
I only know the big five.
Give me a
Yeah.
continent.
Yeah, I might be able to get Haitian.
In
That's
New
as
York
far as I
City,
go.
you're brown and Asian. Weird. This guy is.
My God, that reggae man is speaking Russian. It's crazy. You got all kinds of crazy stuff.
yeah.
Have you seen that guy? There's like a reggae guy that looks like a Russian guy, and he's got the sunken Rob Dyrdek reggae.
I don't understand. I'm like,
he's got the
what?
redneck face, and they go to talk to him. He's like, hello. He's like the most reggae guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah,
It's Tom Hanks' son, right?
Anyway, no, this is a real guy born in Jamaica. He's a real Jamaican, but he's just
That's some future.
He's a future Jamaican.
mixing
Yeah.
of races that we don't have here in Florida.
And it
Anyway.
also to country mouse here going to the city, it's intimidating, right? You get there and you're like, well, I don't know what that is, so I'm not even going to address it.
Yeah. I just give me like I said, big five: white, brown, black, Asian, gay. And then outside of that, I'm like, what?
Did you see any spicy? Did you walk past any places maybe you shouldn't have, like Ladies of the Night, or anything like? I know New York City's not like that really, but
No, because we stuck around the tourist areas too. We went to the botanical gardens in Brooklyn, and so we did take a subway outside of Manhattan and stuff.
And yes, if you're listening, he did say Brookland.
okay.
Or is it in the Bronx? I'm not sure. Anyway,
Botanical Gardens.
Was the
wow.
Wu-Tang Clan
Wow,
around?
Botanical Gardens, huh? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, Botanical Gardens.
You'd be
You guys want to
surprised.
go to the Botanical Gardens?
Crystal wanted to see the cherry blossoms because they blossom in April, and it was cool. It's like that's just another
They're beautiful.
experience, And anyway,
You should go back in June and have some cherries.
so
No cherries, only blossoms.
back to the horns. So I'm watching this guy, and he is driving and using his horn at all times. Right? It's at all times. Certain like tiny honks, longer honks, and like it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason though.
It's like Morse code or semaphore.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
he's using a series
So-
of
So
communication.
he's just driving down a road, no traffic ahead of him, 20 miles an hour, and he's tapping the
No.
horn. Okay.
There's always traffic though. That's so that's part of it, right?
Okay.
So because I'm really trying to analyze, okay, how. Like, what is this for? Is this for a reason, or is this just how New York City people drive? Did they just drive with continuous honks at all times?
Could it be for you, the person not from New York City, and maybe it's his way of letting you know that he is being a good driver?
I don't know.
You know, it's like my way
Well-
of showing you that I'm actively paying attention is to honk at all times when I'm doing things. I don't know. I'm
But-
really trying to answer this.
No. So and this is I'm not really asking you guys.
Only
I'm
place
just
I've been
putting it
like
out
this
there.
is Puerto Rico had this. Like when we went
Yeah.
to San Juan and we stayed a week in San Juan at my dad's friend's place.
Yeah.
The people of Puerto Rico, when they drive, they use their horn as a tool. It is a tool. It is like I'm telling you, and I get to the it's different than New York, but they get to an area, they let you know, and then we're hauling ass through.
They're because what we only know the horn to do is to alert someone.
Hey,
I'm gonna kill you.
Or anger horn.
You're asleep at the light. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get off your phone.
Or it's
You're coming into my lane.
Yeah, you cut me off.
Watch out.
So anger horn to shame someone or alert someone who's texting that the light's green.
God,
Right?
you just called me out, dude. That's the only horns I do.
Well, that's the
I
only horns we have.
I only do shame horns, and I only do get the hell move.
I also do if somebody like runs a stop sign and cuts you off and you have to slow down, I'll give them a taste of horn just to let them know I didn't kill them today. I chose not to broadside you, but here's a little horn just so you know.
Yeah. And so, but what I'm saying is, in New York City, there's other uses of the horn that I'm not familiar with, and I don't even understand what the guy was doing.
And then, so
with it.
you're in a vehicle. Are all the vehicles around you also horning?
Yes,
Okay.
everybody. Like, the
Okay.
entire time is nonstop honking.
All horns.
Tiny honks. Never really an aggressive. Like
It's too much. You
Yeah,
gotta,
yeah,
you gotta work
yeah,
it
Which
in.
shows very little discretion.
I
Where
know.
are your
Interesting.
dynamics? And a piece of good music, right? You're gonna have dynamics.
These are just observations I'm throwing out. Second observation.
But wait, does it scale up? Like if you I don't know, if you go to India where there's a way more dense city, do they get in the car and just depress the horn and then just drive the entire time? Because it's a
I
function
feel
of
like-
population
no, I
pressure,
feel
yeah,
right?
they're doing the similar thing. It's all some sort of weird
I
communication.
don't think I watch a lot of scooter videos, and
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh,
them are
yeah.
in India, and
No.
a lot of them are in like Malaysia. and stuff.
Hashtag India is not for beginners.
They're more
all day.
quiet
Yeah.
with their horns. It's a
Interesting.
different. They just go for it on these little mini bikes, and they just kind of go into a sea, and then they all become one, and then it works.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of move through, and then they're like a lot more patient. Like they may even be rubbing their motorcycles against each other, and they're like, "It's fine," which is not me. I can't do that, but they do it, and it works.
Yeah,
which,
I wonder if like
which I kind of like. I wish I was that. I wish I was the cool enough to get on my motorcycle, get into a sea like a 1,000 sperms, and ride my way to work and hit each other, and it's no big deal. No big deal.
And that's I like having an experience or seeing something that I've never seen before, and that's what the Times Square was like. The rest of the New York, I've kind of had a little bit of experience in Chicago and DC, where it's like, okay, it's big city, but in Times Square in particular, I'm like, whoa, there's nothing like this I've ever seen. Like this.
What were
is
the
bizarre.
boys? I mean, like
They were. It was like Rumspringa to them. They were like shocked and kind of traumatized by the overwhelming.
it's a lot.
Everything of it.
And that's not Orlando.
no,
No, but I'm just saying to
Yeah.
them, they're like biggest city they've been to.
Yeah, oh yeah. And so the second theory I have, Ross, and I wanted to run this by you because I thought about this a long time.
If
So,
it says 1 × 1 = 2 stuff again, I don't even want to hear it.
so this happened to me in DC, and then I bitched about it on the show. No one really told me though after I bitched about it if I was correct. But then
Well,
it
you're not
happened
well
again.
liked. I don't know.
No,
if you
yeah,
know.
no, I know. I knew that.
Yeah, sometimes
I
I'll
knew
leave
that
you
from my
hanging.
wife, from everybody.
Hey, I'll
So-
die on this hill. I love you. I like this guy and love him. I love
all
this guy.
time. No, I'm annoying to be around. So the
45-year-old drunk white guy loves you. That guy wants to be around you constantly.
yeah, other me's, which I hate, like me. Which I don't know. I'm like, why don't you hate me?
I know
like
who
I
likes
hate
me
you?
and I hate them.
Yeah. Why don't you hate me too? You should not like me. Well, it's weird. That's my curse. Anyway.
Yeah.
So when we got to the city, we left our we had to check in at 4, so we had like 3 hours to kill. So we walked over to Central Park to explore Central Park.
Did you
Which
do that
is
thing- oh,
no, go ahead.
did you do that thing where you put your luggage in a locker?
Yes, yeah.
And by the way, this is the way you should do a
Check.
trip. The dentists don't do this, and I'm going to give him a compliment because I think you should get right off the plane and get to getting. You should.
Which, by the way, they're like, oh, you'll store our luggage, which you could do in Orlando free of charge. New York, not so much. But they're like $15 a bag.
Oh, Hey, $15.
Yeah. There's like,
My God.
with the, and they threw the boys' backpacks in for free, but it was
Hey,
like,
how benevolent.
you know,
Is there
it's like-
$70 in?
yeah.
Hasn't even done anything, $70.
That guy carrying the bags, though, he's third string on the Giants, and he was only making like $250,000 a
Could have
month.
been you,
It's-
Shador. Could have been you. The Giants were looking at you. They were.
Well, they're taking the subway in, Ross is right there. Anyway, so we go over to Central Park, and then, of course, at the mouth of all the entrances of Central Park are everybody trying to get the tourists, right? Like either to ride the rickshaw, to rent whatever. To
Black Israelites? My favorite? Do you see any Black Israelites?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, my favorite, and they're awesome in D.C., but and be respectful. Just look from a distance, but they'll yell at you good if you get over there and start monkey. They're the black guys that are muscly, and sometimes they'll do feats of strength, but they dress up like they almost look like knights. They look like Knights Templar. Like they're like full, like crazy, almost like Assassin's Creed looking outfits.
Okay.
And they yell with megaphones and stuff. They're awesome.
And if you're white, they will be very mean to you.
Yeah, but that's why I say be respectful and just, enjoy them from a
they
distance.
won't.
From a distance, man. What was that song by?
Be respectful to this guy yelling in your face with a megaphone in public. I'm like, get the hell out of here.
Oh, they're
bum.
great. They're fantastic.
So, why do I have to be respectful? Anyway, so the everybody's trying to sell you stuff and whatever, like especially the tourists.
No memes about abortion memes?
No, I didn't see any activists. It was all just trying to
Pure greed.
Yeah, it's all capitalism.
They may have cut down on a lot of that stuff too. I don't know.
And then I see, and we were hungry, so I see the stereotypical New York City hot dog cart, which are everywhere. I mean, food trucks are everywhere, right? Street.
Well, he loves a hot dog.
Food trucks, vendors. It's a thing in Giant City.
And you haven't eaten one
in
in
DC
a minute.
too.
When's the last time you had a hot dog, Mr. Trainin?
No,
probably a long ass time.
No, I enjoy a hot dog.
Oh, I know you do.
I see. I'm like, let's just grab a hot dog.
Yeah,
and
half
pretzels.
your party's vegetarian. Let's go to the hot dog cart.
Chat room is also yelling at you for buying this hot dog. I don't know why.
Okay,
Everybody's like, "What the hell's wrong with you, you moron?"
Well,
And I'm
thanks
like,
for telling me before I went. Listen, I'm about to give everybody. If someone, okay.
I don't think this is fair. It's not fair to yell at him.
Dude,
Tom went full sassy black lady.
people don't know how to
He's
give
been
it.
working on that.
From now to the end of time, I will give people useful advice when they tell me they are going to New York City. I'll tell them exactly the things they should know, at least that I experienced.
You'll give him the Tom.
Which is, first piece of advice, don't buy a hot dog at a hot dog cart. Right? No one told me. I was like, street food, people were telling me in D.C., like, oh, eat the street food.
No, but why wouldn't
eat
you
the
buy a hot
street
dog?
food.
Because I would have bought one too. And,
Okay.
and I know I get crap for agreeing with
Street
him, but
food.
like I
Food
love
cart.
hot dogs. I'm in Central Park. Maisie's doing
Central Park hot dog.
Yeah, she's flipping around, and then I'm taking photos. I'm getting a hot dog. What's wrong with that?
You go to Disney, you get the Dole Whip, right?
Thank you.
Go to
Yeah,
Central
yeah.
Park, you get a hot dog from a cart.
And you sit in the park and eat it. That's
Exactly.
part of the
Yeah.
experience.
Can I pause for 1 second?
And
Chat
then-
room loves Mad Tom in 4K. They're loving it. You in 4K yelling and spitting everywhere. They love it.
And this happened to me in D.C., and this is the theory I have that I've thought about it long enough where I'm like, nah, this can't be
Not
real.
many people will be brave enough to come up with a New York City hot dog theory.
My theory, and again, this happened in D.C., like these food vendors, there's no price of anything, right, on the outside. Like, there's pictures of everything.
That's made its way here in town.
Interesting.
That's made its way here in town. Some food trucks don't price it.
So
here.
there's no price on any of the outside, and there's enough room to put it there because they have,
And didn't they
things
get
that
you
fold out.
Didn't they get you in DC?
Yes, they got me in DC where the same thing happened. Where once I ordered first without asking the price, and then they told me
Hey, that's $70, young black.
and they told me a price that blew. I was like, oh God. So anyway,
This happens so much. This is now in town. You're right, Dan. Tasty Tuesdays that we go to sometime, the big food truck roundup in the Milk District.
Oh, this is in town.
There's a cookie one in particular that like I've 3 times now.
I know what you're talking
I've
about.
come up to the table and I've been like, that cookie looks good. How much is it? And they go like $15, and then I go, oh yeah, let me just go get my wallet from my wife, and I'll be right back. And I like slink away. It's happened to me like 3 times now.
I know the
where
one
I've
you're talking about.
forgotten and done it again.
I know the one you're talking. I may have done the same. Do they come in special bags?
I'm sure I wouldn't know because I've never bought one.
I think I know what you're talking about.
So I get 2 hot dogs, one for me, one for Tommy.
I love this. Share some diarrhea with your son in Central Park. I love it.
A pretzel for Max because he's vegetarian, and then Crystal gets a falafel, a veggie falafel.
That actually sounds pretty good.
From a hot dog cart?
Yeah,
Dude, I love
They
a
do
falafel.
everything. Like,
You like falafel?
Yeah.
I love falafel.
They're mini food trucks, really. There's some carts I saw, but
Yeah.
everything turned into a mini food truck with
Interesting.
lots
They
of
can do
different
it. They
options.
can cater a wedding if need be. They can do anything.
Interesting.
And so I order, and then I forgot until the guy's like $42. So for 2 tiny, like what you'd
God,
get.
this sounds like an $80 voicemail subscription. Jesus Christ.
In front of Lowe's. Well, I didn't know it was $42. And I remembered, I was like, oh, they got me again. And I was like, I did not learn my lesson from DC. So I paid the $42, right? And then I was like, me and Crystal had this discussion, like, do you think that they just made that price up once they saw that we were obviously tourists, or was that the actual price? Like,
God, to make it up on the fly is that's ballsy.
There's probably just 2 lists. There's like, this guy's local, that guy's from out of town. Yeah.
Now, but then I was like, so they just gouged me for, being, I don't know, right? And they wouldn't have done this if
$10 a hot dog for you. The guy who comes in is wearing an I Heart New York shirt, so you know he's local. That guy, $2.
I like the idea of you doing the thing, which I know you'll never do, but I think real New Yorkers would, where they're like, hey, 42 for that? Hey, I'm out of here. And then the
haggle a
guy's
little bit.
holding everything, right?
Yeah, no.
And he's going to have to throw it away, and you got to go like, nah, and then you got to haggle.
At this point, as like but that may also be the price, because I imagine they have to pay some sort of permit to be there. Probably,
if they were legal.
exorbitant.
They're probably supposed to.
No, yeah, I'm sure they got it down where like you can't sell stuff on the street corner without a permit at Central
I'm
Park.
sure.
You think there's not one illegal hot dog cart in
No,
Central
I'm sure
Park?
there is. Yeah, I'm just saying at the mouth maybe it's like and I imagine those people have been there for decades or something, like some, you know what I'm saying, like really good prime spots. It happens here in Orlando. Like we've seen the hot dog cart, like even downtown. Like you can't just post up anywhere. Like
Correct.
People
There's
have
territories.
Yeah, and imagine New York City in Central Park. There's like that guy's been holding that territory for a long.
Could have been in his family.
Generational, yeah.
Seriously.
Or there's some.
My daughter's been on that corner.
The organized crime titans. You know, it's like they're a huge city.
Yeah,
like
Weenie Wars.
But so then I was like, maybe it is $42, and that's the price. But then
You could have asked and had an uncomfortable conversation with him about like, hey, did you just raise this price, or is that the normal price?
No, well,
and saw how crazy he had to explain it.
So other street food. Now we weren't near Central Park because we started asking like, hey, how much for the ice cream? And then they tell me, and it was a reasonable price. And then we never got to do the experiment. If we didn't ask, would they sell to you more? So I don't know if it's an actual thing or if that's in my head, and it probably is $42 and you're paying tourist prices. Because like if you go to a city walk, you're paying $42 for 2 hot dogs.
People were adding that up. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat room were saying, 2 hot dogs, a falafel, a pretzel, some drinks.
No
At
drinks.
Universal.
No.
Well, okay,
Oh,
just that at Universal. I mean, that's $42.
Yeah.
Dude,
You know?
me and 3 kids at McDonald's. 40,
The
40
night
50
of the
bucks.
night,
It's,
yeah.
True.
Yeah. So it could just be what the price is now, but it's funny when you're getting in a cart, like we have Florida cart pricing in our heads, and then, it's probably what it was.
Dude, you know what was the exact opposite? Go to Kansas. Go to Kansas and buy something. It is like
Giving falafels
startlingly
away.
cheap.
Ain't nobody
Yeah.
want to eat these damn falafels. We
Yeah.
don't even know what they are. Hey, thanks for calling a corporate time. Who's this?
Hey, it's Clark the Tugman. I just got to Jersey. I'm docked up listening to you guys.
Oh, right on, man. What's on your mind?
Tom, wanted to ask you, one of the biggest complaints I had in NYC, or I've ever had in NYC, is the bathroom situation.
Well,
Matthews and NYC. What say you, Tom?
the bathrooms. Well, I'm not dumb enough to use a public bathroom in NYC.
I would have
because-
probably tried to do it just to say I did it. Plus, I have IBS, so I'm going to have to do it.
Yeah. So,
Well, that's kind of the thing. There's no public bathrooms. If you want to use a restroom around there, they make you buy something.
Yes, yeah. Of course, and
Why
that's
don't they just charge for a restroom? I would pay. Like if they had a building that was a
they
nice.
do
clean
that in Europe.
Yeah, if they had a nice clean bathroom that I could just go over and like scan my card for $5 or so and walk in and use it, I would gladly do that because it makes more sense to me than buying a pack of gum I don't need.
Yeah, but
You know?
but that's worth having a somewhat clean bathroom. Is like buying whatever chips or whatever is a small price to pay to use a clean bathroom.
sure.
Wouldn't it? And your alternative is there is no alternative.
Peeing in the street.
But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys,
Pooping your pants and walking around.
I've always wanted to poop in the streets. That's one thing I've never done. It's on my bucket list too. But it's the very last.
Well, bring a bucket with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break.
Yes, sir.
And I got one more question for you guys. That was an observation that I saw that I was like, they should do this differently, because this is an awkward scenario that's going on right now.
Awesome. We will be right back. Again, guys, if you like watching this, YouTube and Twitch, check out @TomandDanLive, like and subscribe, and we will be right back. Cool.
I just got one more small story, and then that's it.
jump into the competition stuff if you want.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. All right, let me see
And then
this.
I do got a really good story for
Oh, I know.
12:30, but we'll do that in the BDM show.
Tuesday. Can you go flip the air on?
Yep.
Just because it gets real hot under here
Yep.
now. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. 4, 29, 25. Audio. Predate. AC2. Tuesday. 1 and 2. Raw. 4, 29, 25. 45 men's split, and then at the 13-minute mark, all right. How's everything looking on there, guys? I need to do one little fix on Tom's cam. Everything's working right. Okay, here's what we'll do. I'm just going to loosen that slightly. Okay, can you turn your camera that direction?
This way?
Yes. A little more. Perfect. You're done. That's it. Thank you, buddy. That's all I needed. I'm gonna put these. I found a way to do like these little sticks on the top, so I can like just kind of move them myself. Like, oh, that's a good idea because you keep these loose in them. I don't know,
Like Mr. Snarks.
just like Mr. Smarts. All right, hold on, Tom. Yeah, fix one more little thing. Put your headphones on again for me, buddy, like you're doing it. Yep, like that. There we go. It's this one. It's the command button. All right. This is almost done, and then you have one little thing, and then we can jump over to the other thing.
Yeah.
Perfect. When my workflow is different, it's harder to stay engaged. Like, it's harder to...
And did you make a note of that time? I said shit.
I
like-
did.
Okay. all
Yeah,
right,
13, and I wrote it.
excellent. Something like that, yeah.
We did it. We're almost like we're doing okay doing this.
Hilarious.
You want to bring us back?
Yep.
Here we go. And hold on, Ross. There you go. And 3, 2.
Welcome back to Corporate Time. Real quick, the
Are we
orange-
recording?
No, we're not.
Oh,
Thank you, Ross. I
Mhm.
like that. Let's try it again. And 3, 2.
welcome back to Corporate Time. The Orange County Library Center is doing their Book Fest on May 17th. We got Brad Meltzer as a guest speaker.
Man, that's a huge get. This guy writes some of the greatest children's books that I have ever owned. In fact, we have quite the collection in the Dennis household. And a lot of other parents will know he does a lot of those, like, I Am Dolly Parton is one of the favorites in our house. Or he's done everybody. I Am George W. Bush. Like, he's done just about any pop cultural icon you can think of. He's also written some really good adult books. Heck of an author. And like I said, a great get for us to have.
OCLS.org
Yeah,
for
you
more
can
details.
Meet
And you
that
said
guy.
Library Feast?
Did I say book feast?
Well, okay, I
Book
was-
Feast. No, you know what? I'm sorry. I heard about this event from Silverfish Man, and he must have just been. That's my.
Oh, yeah, it's a fest.
Okay.
I can see
But to
where
him,
he would have said it's a feast.
book
Also,
feast,
something
yeah.
Tom and I have been having trouble with, and I'll point this out. Tom and I have been having a lot of trouble talking about a book fest because of book fairs. It has
Okay.
been ingrained in our brains so much as children that it is a book fair that I cannot say book fest.
When I see
It's
book fest,
impossible for me to say
Yeah.
it. I have never said it right. I pride myself on doing a great job for the library. I'm proud that we work with them. They're great to us, and I can't say book fest.
yeah. Fairs are for books. Fest is for music. Everyone knows that.
It
I'm
was
joking.
coming out of my
It's
mouth.
their book fest.
He's right. He's right. Okay, sorry.
Books go on the merry-go-round.
So,
So hard to say.
two things. So after the $42 hot dogs, we're sitting there in Central Park. I'm eating my $42 hot dog.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I got into city mode, which is don't pay attention to people that are trying to get your attention because they're trying to sell you something or trying to get you to book a tour or
Some
scam you.
nefarious.
Yeah, or just something I want.
your ass in safety mode.
You have to keep your head down because
Yeah.
I did that walking across the street. Someone's like, "Hey, come!" Like called me over, and I was like, "Oh!" I walked over
Yes,
like an idiot.
sir. How can I help you?
And then trying to sell me some rickshaw tour of New York City or whatever. And I'm
How
like,
was
"Oh!" No. I was like, "Oh no, I don't." And then I had to make up something. I'm like, "We already have a tour."
Yep. My wife's buying $15 cookies. I gotta go.
So in my mind, I'm like, don't engage with anybody. You're in the city.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there eating
By
my
the way,
hot
this
dog.
is how I approach my Wawa. Like, this is, yeah, absolutely.
So normally I'm pretty engaged. If you get my attention, I'm gonna be like, "What is that?" Okay, I'll walk over. If you call me over, like, "Hey, come over here," I'll
Like a big friendly
You
penguin.
will wander over. You're a some
Yeah,
call
yeah,
that
yeah.
the magician's dream. You know, where you go, you there, and that's all. What? And then, like when he starts wandering, sometimes
You
it's
can
hard.
get my attention.
Well, I was gonna say that as a friend of yours, and I'm allowed to say that, right? When we're at things, it's hard to pull you away. Sometimes guests will call you over, and I have to wrangle. I'm like, please don't talk to him.
Because I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
You don't.
If you try to get someone's attention and they ignore you, I imagine that would hurt your feelings. I forget that in the New York City scenario, no feelings involved. Like they're just yelling at 10,000
Well,
people
it never gets that
a day.
far.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have feelings. I just think they have it never gets that far.
Well, yeah, and I'm virtually certain it doesn't hurt their feelings when I totally ignore them.
No.
I just keep my head down and walk right past.
This happened to you, I think, cruise before last. We ended up on that like Junkanoo Beach or whatever
Oh,
that's
yeah,
called.
yeah.
And me and Tom were standing next to each other, and the guy came up and to me was like, "Hello, sir. Would you hold the pole for the limbo contest?" And I looked him right in the eye and said, "Absolutely not." Because, like, I looked at him. I was like, "I'm not going to stand there in the sun for like 2 hours while you do your." And Tom goes, "I will do it."
Wait a minute. So you
yeah.
declined
Oh.
something, forcing Tom to do it.
I think he felt so bad for the guy that immediately he was like,
Yeah,
"I will do
yeah,
it for you."
yeah.
sir."
That's how,
Yeah.
that was a one-step
what-
negative positive. I've never heard of such a technique where you can say no, but also say yes for somebody else
Somebody
at
else.
the same
Yeah.
effing time.
Basically.
Yeah, I couldn't believe you told him no. I didn't even know that was an option.
And you couldn't believe that you were holding the pole because
Yeah. I didn't want to. I couldn't believe
No.
you told someone how you felt.
Oh, I've done that. I've done it. I've been mean about it. You remember the time?
Yeah.
One of my favorites that I told somebody how I felt was when the guy that he installed our vinyls on our step and repeat in the back of the studio here, and he was like, "There you go. I finally got it done. This is the hardest thing I've ever done, and no one else can do this." I was like, "I can do that. I can do it in 10 minutes better than the way you did."
Well,
it.
you made him redo it because
Yeah.
it was
It was
off.
misaligned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made him redo the whole thing, and then when he told me that
he's
no
like-
one else could do this job, I was like, "Oh, I can do it in like 3 minutes, easier than like." In fact, Ross, my assistant, I don't know if you've met my assistant, he can do it, and he's better than you.
I know how that feels though, because you are certain that no one else could do this.
Yeah.
I feel like that sometimes.
He was.
and then sometimes I snap into reality. I'm like, wait a minute. I think lots of people can do this.
You know what made
In
me
fact,
feel?
I think everyone I know can do this.
I was mean to that man, and then he did say to me, and it did hurt my feelings a little bit. He got me because he goes, "Well, I did a pretty good job." That hurt my feelings a little. I was like, oh, damn.
Back it down.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, damn, he got me.
Anyway, so I'm sitting there eating my hot dog, Central Park, and then
You didn't describe how hot dogs taste.
normal.
Damn it. I wanted it to
Yeah.
be like, you know when you have I had a
Yeah.
hot dog at,
No
I had a hot
different
dog at
than
Truist,
Most hot dogs.
where the Braves play.
Yeah.
It was an awesome hot dog.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was just like they put the time. It had been like done correctly. The bun was soft. It was great.
But again, like if you have a gourmet hot dog at like the bowling alley over here or whatever, that it's like I imagine it's going to be higher quality ingredients. Like the food truck hot dog is just going to be a
oh,
standard.
you mean like a handmade Primrose dog? Yeah, it is
You
going
know
to
what
be
I'm saying?
different. Yeah,
So
you're right.
it's a food truck hot dog, and
And by the way, you paid about the same amount for your hot dog in
Yes,
the
yeah,
park
yeah,
as that gourmet one at Primrose.
Yeah.
I think the Primrose hot dog is cheaper. I'm just going to
Without
it out
fries.
there.
Yeah,
without
absolutely.
fries.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Oh, it's so good.
So I'm saying, and then I hear
Homemade mustard.
this
So good.
real old lady trying to get my attention, like, sir.
Oh, no.
And then in my mind, I'm like, just stare forward and eat your hot dog, because I've told myself ignore everything, right? So she's like, sir, and she's like,
No more old ladies.
And then so I look over and she's like, can you help me? She has 2 dogs on her lap, right? Old dogs. And like one looks like a possum. It's so old. And then
Joke's on you. This was me in character. I was dressed up. I was dressed up as an old lady.
and she does have no
And I was the possum.
she's in a wheelchair, doesn't look homeless, like she just looks like an old lady.
But this is what you wanted, wheelchair homeless. This is on your bingo card.
Yeah, but it doesn't. She doesn't look homeless like a bag lady or anything. But she does have like unfortunate shoes or slippers with her. Like you could tell her feet are purple.
Pink legs.
Yeah, like big swollen purple.
Where they get pink and white, where the psoriasis is.
So that will make a $42 hot dog taste better.
God, this hot dog looks just like your legs.
And she's like, sir, and she's like, can you help me get one of my dogs off my lap? Right? So
He's spraying diarrhea.
So I'm immediately like trying to do the calculation of what
Do you
stem
put the
is
dog
this?
all the way in your mouth so you can use both hands? You have to do that move where you put the full dog in your mouth.
So
If this ends with her having you put the dogs back to back and she jumps the wheelchair over the dogs,
I'm gonna throw my cane at you. That's awesome.
that
$60 easy. Yeah.
That's worth 5 hot dogs.
unfit Maui doing a half-ass
Yeah.
front flip. Anyway, so she's like, sir, can you help me get my dog off my lap? And then I was like, oh God, I was like, what scam is this? I'm looking around like she's like, I'm thinking, oh, as soon as I touch that dog.
What's Tommy doing? What's poor little Tommy doing?
Oh, they're not,
Just eating his hot dog?
and so Crystal's whispering in my ear, and of course, after I looked, and I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" And she's like,
penis is out.
and she's like, "Don't talk to her." She's telling me, she's
Yeah.
like, "Don't engage." And then I'm like, "Oh, okay." So then I walk over, and I'm like, "Oh, what's?" She's gonna get me for something. Like as soon as I pick this dog up, she's gonna like. Say scream or something. Like, I don't know. Or she's gonna be like, "Oh, you owe me."
This man's stealing my dog! Dog napper!
And this is like a famous New York City Central
Yeah.
It's
Park.
the old dog napping
Yeah.
scam.
Yeah, like, and then everybody's like, "How'd you fall for that, you idiot?"
You fell for the double dog lady wheelchair?
So then I'm like, I walk over, and then I'm like, "Oh, okay, what do you need?" She's like, "Can you just help me get my dog off my lap?" And then so I'm like, "Okay." So then I reach up, I'm like, "Oh, this dog's gonna bite me," and then she's gonna scream like, "Oh, you owe me money." And,
I like that
I don't know.
scam. Oh, I like that one.
It's
Yeah.
a reverse dog bite.
You broke my dog's leg. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like,
What if the dog is trained to start crying as soon as you touch it, and it does that?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Yes,
That,
yeah,
and you
yeah.
could train a dog to do that.
Absolutely.
I was
We
even-
gotta work on this,
We
Rob.
should.
Yeah, I was looking at the dogs. I was like, these real dogs.
Well, you just saw the
Because they were-
saxophone guy. He was
Yeah.
playing for all the
Yeah,
animatronic dogs.
Yeah, question everything. You're in the
But
big
yeah,
city.
Ross and I are following along really well.
But these dogs are old, and they stink.
White eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
White eyes.
Oh, white eyes, like brown, rotten teeth, like the tongue halfway, like old. And she even says, like, this one, Sweetie, is 17 years old. So then
God, that's rough.
So I take the one dog off her lap, and then I'm waiting for it the whole time, like, oh, here it comes.
Here
And I
it
put it
comes.
down on the floor, And then
It dies.
no,
Right?
no, and then she's like, oh,
It gives its last breath.
Just rolls over, legs in the air.
she's like, thank you. I'm gonna sit back down.
Oh.
And
Oh, no,
then-
that's a good story. You interacted with a real New Yorker.
yeah.
This is good.
And I was rude to her the whole time. Like I didn't like, oh, let me help you, no problem. Like I was rude and standoffish the entire time.
Caution.
Because I thought it was a scam, and it was just a sweet old lady in a wheelchair who's had 2 old dogs in her lap.
If it wasn't a scam, that only leaves one option, and that dog was covered in bed bugs. Just
that's
covered in bed bugs.
She did interact with me more. Where she's like the lady that's in charge of me just left me here. Then I thought the
She's
scam.
black.
I thought the scam.
That's how they normally start.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
my grandma, they start saying really inappropriate, horrible things.
Then I was waiting for her to ask me for money to be like, I have no food or whatever.
Then she goes on some racist rant, and you're like, oh, please stop.
Yeah. So I was waiting for it the entire time.
Didn't happen?
And then the black lady that was in charge came back getting a hot dog.
You're just like a real New Yorker.
And then, so I was like, oh, okay, there are non-scam, interactions here with,
Okay, well,
regular
that's good.
people.
That's a good one.
And then.
Did you take a yellow cab at all, just to say you took
no,
a yellow cab?
all Ubers.
Yeah.
I
Do they have
should have
those-
hailed a cab just for the experience, but I didn't.
Do they have the hybrid Uber taxis yet, where it's like the taxi company is owned by Uber and they run a yellow cab, but it's called Uber?
Really?
Yeah, Europe is doing that
No
now too,
kidding.
and they're saying we're going to get some of it too.
We only Ubered once from the airport, and the rest we just took public transit. First, because it's so easy. I mean, you get everywhere. And second, because I wanted the experience of like the boys going through the subway in New York City
That's
subway.
cool.
Which another odd thought I had is the
Do you see any Jabberwockies or anybody down there? Like where you're getting ready on
other
your train,
buskers.
and then there's Questlove playing with the Roots or something.
we walked by plenty of people like sleeping. Just in the hallway.
Really?
Like, what I'm saying? Like that, the
Yeah.
regular New York City homeless. And then I'm glad that my son's got to see. It's just like, because that's a
Bucket list for most kids is homeless
experience that
people,
hardens
yeah.
you. Well, no, just
Only thing better is homeless dead. Stand by me. Like when you find dead man in woods is.
there would be. He could have. The many homeless that we walked by that were sleeping could have been dead. Like they
You
were
should have had your
dead
son
still.
poke him with a stick.
So we also the second day or last day we were there, we went to the 9/11 memorial, and there's the museum.
What happened again?
There's the museum underneath there, and then of course the 2 reflection pools.
Yeah.
Which is
Powerful, right?
oh yeah. I mean, as soon as you get there, it is heavy. Like obviously, and then you're just like, God, it blows your mind to even think that 2 gigantic buildings fell down. Like it's nuts. And then just the amount of people that died is hollow ground.
And all the
it's
stories
crazy.
and all the people that helped.
Yeah,
and,
it
it's
just
wild.
It was something that everybody was connected to, obviously, that watched when it happened, and so they did a really nice job with the museum, so we were walking around that and showing the boys, and then there's an area in the museum that actually has pictures of all the victims, like the actual headshots of like huge room, and like there's a couple things that some artists put into scope of like how many people died, and then when you see individual pictures or like there was watercolor paintings of one sculpture that represented everybody, and then when you see that the amount of people portrayed like that, you're just like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's heavy,
like,
man.
because it's hard to even imagine like 2,900, nearly 3,000. It's like to put in perspective until you see it. Anyway, so there was an area of the museum that has everybody's headshot inside this room, and then there's like a video inside playing. So while we were walking around, there's like this basically huge open area. There's like a fire truck that was actually pulled out of the rubble there, and like some other things. You remember the beam that people that they use? They put a flag on. And it was kind of like the center beam.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that beam is there. And so in the room, I kept hearing this lady like loudly say,
Can you help me with my dog?
Yeah.
She's like, sir, no pictures. Could you have some respect, please? Like I heard it multiple times, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, and she said it in a very aggressive, very like New York way.
Yeah.
Like as an employee there.
Can you have some respect? I'm trying to have some respect here.
Yeah, and so they were telling people no pictures inside the room with everybody's headshot, right?
Okay.
And which was obvious because it's a weird motivation, but
I was gonna get a selfie of myself with all the dead people.
Yeah. It's
Right,
like,
that is weird. Don't do that.
It's a memorial for
Show
these
some
people.
respect, yeah.
Now,
I got you.
But also the problem is a lot of people there are tourists.
Yeah, they're
which
not gonna know.
They take pictures of
They're
everything.
just taking pictures.
Yeah, they
some
just
tiny little Japanese lady taking a photo of it
they
because she
wa-
just wants to document her trip.
they walk around taking pictures every second of every time.
And then I don't know. I'm just weighing out on the scale. What's more disrespectful, taking a quick picture at the 9/11 memorial or screaming constantly in the 9/11 memorial? What's more disrespectful? I'm just trying to weigh it out.
And that's coming from a guy who loves screaming.
Yeah, I'm very pro
I
screaming.
feel like you're allowed
yeah,
to speak on this.
And
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
I like enforcing rules. Too.
Yeah. I agree.
and it was very
Yeah,
much
you're
like,
our guy.
Imagine if Ross worked there, it would be like Ross telling someone not to take a picture.
But he
and-
would never do that.
But not only not to take a picture, but also to have some GD respect, because that's how they phrased it. Like they were like, have some respect, like shaming the person, like because it from far away it made me feel like it made me shudder, like oh my god.
Well, you knew you
I'd
had to
be
go there.
I'd be mortified
you
if
knew
some.
you were heading towards it.
Yeah, and so I now when I walked in, there was a tiny sign with a camera that had like a crossbuster, right? But it was
No, you got to do bigger than that.
It was smaller than I thought it should be, and then I was like, how long
You got
have
to do the
these
Tracy
employees
Morgan.
been yelling at people to have some respect and no pictures?
Well, they were doing
You
it.
need to have a big, like a lot of signs outside. It's like when you walk
in
into
all
this room.
languages, and they did. That's like what they did at Tracy Morgan when we went to see him. And then they basically at the beginning of the show, they did such a good job of telling us to all put our phones away and screaming at us before we even got in there. You got to get it before it's in there. If you're screaming in there, you've lost. You have to get ahead of it and yell it. And then we were so afraid that was one of the most respectful comedy shows with everybody still had their phone. It's just they had guys yelling at us so much that we knew. There was no way to not know.
But not during the show.
No.
Like way previous.
Yeah. Now I know this like it should be.
Nobody was like, put your phone away, show some cheating
No.
respect. It's Tracy Morgan on stage right now. Nope.
But it wasn't like the rest of the museum. You could take pictures. They just didn't want you to take pictures inside the portraits of the victims.
understand.
Obviously, because
Okay.
and so
That's intimate.
So, but the problem being that it wasn't as obvious as it should be, and then it caused this employee to have to yell at someone. It was like a rate of once every 10 minutes.
That's a
she
lot.
had to tell someone, put your phone away, show some GD respect, and then
And again, I'm gonna question the whole rule to begin with, because like, what's wrong with like, okay, some respect, but like you said, you walked in and the scale of it all, like seeing all the pictures at once, like made the scale come into focus for you. Like, what's wrong with having a picture of that?
Well, I guess it just in the tiny room with the pictures, like the rest of the people were taking pictures of the rest of it. It was like a room within the museum.
Okay,
of like just a memorial room.
You're
and-
allowed to say no pictures calmly. You can just look at
And it
everybody
made
and be
sense.
like, hey guys, just a reminder, no pictures. That's all you need to say. Anything above that, if you say have some respect, you're assuming that person, like you're making it like the person's been taking, like you like don't take a photo, then they continue to do it. Like you have a D-out competition now. We have a fight.
By the way, every time like I went through the room and it happened when I was there and I saw the person and the person was mortified.
Yeah.
Because they
They
weren't
missed the tiny little sign.
Yeah, or they were like, oh god,
Yeah.
like you
It
could
was
tell.
an overreaction.
So then
yeah.
I was like, does this employee just like shaming people? Like because you could, because I was like, it could be that the person like, because if not, I feel like the
just
employee,
for fun to make it more interesting, you just put a little more spice on it.
the employee would be like, hey, this is happening so often that we need to get bigger signs and more like a warning to these tourists.
But if you
I
do
mean,
that,
there's
I
a
won't
lot of.
get
By
to-
the way, there are hundreds and hundreds of people. I mean, the place is packed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not like, there's probably 1,000 people a day that go through this one room. Like how
Does
many
this,
times are they
I'm
going?
just assuming, lady have a podium or something where she's set up?
No,
or?
she's walking through, policing it, like say, and every time she
So-
sees. Now Now there probably
That's weird.
A lot of different. Maybe she is the have some respect person. Other employees. I only saw one shift.
Maybe
so-
she's bad cop. Maybe there's a good cop that's like,
Maybe-
hey, take
maybe-
a picture. I'll let you do it. Maybe there's a good cop.
So you post up right outside the door to this room, like right as people are coming in, and like as people filter in, you're gonna be talking constantly, no matter what. You're gonna be screaming, "Show some respect," or like post up right outside the door, and as people come in, say, "Hey, don't forget." Out of respect, no pictures inside the memorial room.
Yeah.
Hey,
Do it
every
for- yeah.
3 people that walk by, you say, "Hey, don't forget, no pictures inside the memorial room, due to respect." Like you just
Yeah,
every
pre-do
reset.
it. Yeah.
Real and guess what? Nice and respectfully before they get in.
Yeah.
But no, they're like waiting for a problem to happen and then
It's all-
engaging.
engaging, yeah. And shaming with
Yeah.
a have some respect.
Well, what
Yeah.
are we trying to accomplish here? Maybe, like Tom said, it is more fun to shame them.
It seemed like a system that was flawed in the way that
Unless you're the person shaming if you love it, right?
Yeah, unless you can love
Yeah, yeah.
shaming these tourists that are have
Not
some
that I'm
respect.
sticking up for this person at
No.
all. I'm just saying that person it may be all by design, but you're right. There are so much better ways to do this. Disney does a lot of this where they can secretly get in, and you could they have people that you'll pull your camera out and they'll whisper in your ear, "Please put your camera on."
Yeah.
Like they have people that don't need to there's no screaming. You don't need to scream.
And again, it could be just this one employee that I ran into that's and then who knows.
Yeah.
But it was just that was an observation. Everything else, obviously, they did a great job putting together the museum and
Worth
the
going
memorial.
to, very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, just to experience it and see it because, obviously it's super heavy and it's not a fun thing to do, but it's something that I think everybody should see, right?
How was the Ground Zero Mosque? I've gotten most of my information from Rush Limbaugh.
That's pretty. I forgot about that. Wow, look at that.
They were really worried about it for a
Yeah.
long time, remember?
Yeah, I
it
do.
was
Yeah.
a very big problem.
How do you even remember that, Ross?
Crazy.
My
Yeah.
God.
Also, another little piece of trivia I didn't know is that I thought the lights, if they were coming from the reflection pools, were on each night, but I guess it's only on 9/11.
Right.
One day
Because
a
they
year.
have to divert the lights to Broadway most days.
I didn't know that. I thought it was on all the time too.
Yeah. I just, it was one of those things that, you don't pay
Are the
attention to
lights
details.
always there and only turned on once a year, or do they put the lights in storage
I
and
don't know.
wheel them out?
Like Christmas?
yeah.
Like some guy's got to get a really long aluminum ladder
not
to
to
go
be
up the
that
side of the
guy,
building.
but you mean to tell me you installed these lights and they're going to be there 364 days, and
Yeah.
we only run them one day a year? Come on.
I think they bring them out in some way.
Yeah.
I don't think they just because although you can't see what the water falls into, and then it would also
it's a huge SpongeBob mouth.
it's
It's no. I don't know. What if it was something ridiculous? I don't know.
it's so weird that New York City has such an underground system and network of stuff that is, being from Florida, nothing's underground, and so
And they're constantly having to massage it and fix it too. Like it's a huge, both a blessing and a problem at all. It's awesome that they have it, but they're constantly fixing, massaging it, updating, tearing it down.
Well, at a certain point, you're in this gigantic cavern with stairs and multiple levels of subway.
Yeah.
And then you're walking down, and you're like, "How deep am I?" Like, what? This is insane.
Yeah.
That this is under the city. Like,
You ever thought about if that
I've-
entire subway filled it with blood, like all the way to the top? I think about that all the time.
and another thing too, this obviously the subway is dirty and everything's grimy and stuff.
What do the boys say? Were they like, "Oh wow," or were they like, "God damn, this is gross"?
No, there is interesting, and I'm glad they experienced it. But the problem is that because the only subway experience I had growing up was the Universal Studios King Kong ride. Right? So
I wouldn't tell people that. I wouldn't tell people. Should I cut that out?
So
And did they even, that's called a tram, technically.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think- I
yeah.
don't think they
Is
call
this
it a
where they back where
subway.
they had that earthquake ride? We had it was like our rides now are just natural disasters
my point
Twister, very good ride.
with the cow.
is that when you I've only been around things that are made to look like a New York City subway, and like Ripley's Believe It or Not, or like Universal
Yeah.
Studios, or something and it's like made to look old and grimy, right? But it's special effects.
Yes.
Right. So when I actually go there and I am in it, it doesn't seem as dirty as it actually is and grimy. It seems like I'm in a movie.
So you feel like do you feel like Orlando has given you a false sense of security around PP cities because we live in a fake PP city? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it's because you've seen it in movies so much that you're used to the fake representation of it. So you just assume that, like, even though you're living in the middle of it, it's just like a movie, so it can't be real.
Yeah.
It seems unreal. So in reality, it is grimy and pee-pee. It smells like pee-pee, obviously.
Yeah.
I smell it.
Well, you're doing it.
And anybody who lives there is like, yeah, this is gross in grimy subway. But because I'm there, I romanticized it so much through the.
I'm in New York.
Yeah, and it looks like a movie set that it's not as dirty and grimy to me. It's more like I'm in the movies.
Ride the movie.
Yeah. It seems like a ride. Like I'm doing an experience instead of like I'm just riding the subway. Like when I'm on the subway with my sons and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. And it's not awesome.
It's just like in the movies.
Like anybody who just travels there every day is like, this sucks. You know,
or there's nothing. This is just normal.
But I'm like, this is like the movies that I see and the shows. Like, wow,
I'm in a movie.
I've romanticized it so much that that's what it is like.
I think that's why a lot of people go to New York, right? They want that movie experience
because you've seen it so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get to run in Central Park at all?
No, I didn't. I was going to, and then one day it rained in the morning, and then the other 2 days I was so hungover.
Oh, I'm sure. You're on vacation, man.
And we were staying up late. Like, and that's the thing. Like, we were waking up late and staying up and walking around the city and doing stuff until like midnight most nights. So then by that time, it's like waking up at 9, running in the Central Park because I was like, I walked through it. It's fine.
Yeah, walking around.
Again, that was something I romanticized in my brain that was going to be an awesome thing until I saw how packed it is. People, it's like not. It'd be cool if you had it by yourself, I guess, but you're just running through crowds and stuff. And
there's Dirty Mickey Mouse.
Did you see any rats?
Did not see one rat.
I thought they fixed that problem.
Well, they assigned a czar, and you haven't heard much about it since then.
Yeah,
so,
they did not see any rats.
They got it
Crystal
under
mentioned
control.
Interesting.
Like I remember, and then
we rode the subway a lot.
We had a listener reach out to me and was something. Obviously, we have a history with rats because of you on the show and your history, your personal history with rats, and you'll have to go find that show if you want to listen to it. It's awesome. But they reached out and said, yeah, it's not a thing anymore, and I don't understand how you even tackle a problem like that in a city that size with, like you said, so many little underground hubs of, I don't even know how you would start.
Seal food trash. It's that easy. They just eat out of the dumpsters and stuff. And like there was a real casual like relationship with throwing trash in the alleys. And the rats would eat it. If you just come up with a sealed food system, they don't. There's no rats.
The food was, the garbage.
Yeah.
It was, especially in the super populated, like obviously just spilling out on the floor.
Oh, well, then they're poisoning.
yeah. I think it's just massive amounts of poison.
Yeah.
Chinatown? Did you go to Chinatown?
We did. No.
But there's so much to do there that
we're only there 2 days.
Yeah,
so it's
you'd
like,
have to go there for like 2 weeks to see virtually everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. I'm glad you guys had a good trip.
Did you guys leave the kids alone in the hotel room?
We're gonna get to that.
Oh, okay.
We did.
Oh, that's a whole story, huh?
That is a whole story.
How could some casual radio listener want to hear this, or how could they hear that?
Yeah, it's going to be on the BDM show, and Crystal's coming in to tell this.
What's a BDM show? That's
you're such a pro, Ross. Good Lord.
It is our subscription service.
Oh, I see.
And you can sign up at tomandan.com.
Oh, so there's more Tom and Dan available?
Oh,
yeah.
Got tons. Years of cataloged shows.
At tomandan.com?
Oh, yeah.
We do the BDM show live on the BDM page, which you have to be a BDM to be involved in and be a member of. And you also get the show on the BDM app or on tomandan.com.
It's crazy. I never heard of that. I go to tomandan.com all the time. I listen to Scar's Toboggan on overnights like every day,
I
dude.
love that
It's my
guy.
favorite.
Yeah, we're real bad at promoting. That's not good. Not good at it.
So let's take a break. I will tell the story about leaving Max. They were traumatized severely. I'll tell them. Crystal's coming in at
I got a
12:30.
3-page text, and I'm like, well, this didn't sound like it goes well. So yeah, sign up at tomandan.com/registration.
We stayed on the 48th floor of.
That sounds awesome.
The Sheridan.
What?
And you forget when 48 floors. like
Takes a while to get up there.
Yeah. Although express elevators is by the way, I was texting Pudge asking him how express elevators
I
work.
love them. They make my taint feel weird.
We did Summit 1, this other thing, which is the Vanderbilt building, and like it goes it's like a 90th floor or whatever, and it takes 10 seconds for the elevator to get up there to 90th floor. Like it's like
That's
you're like,
awesome.
how fast are we going?
That's 900 feet.
Yeah. It's like maybe 15 seconds or I don't know.
That's crazy, dude.
But it's
And you don't feel it either because
No,
of the way it's counterweighted.
and it's so fast, it accelerates slow enough to not feel it, and decelerates fast or slow enough to not feel it, which just seems impossible traveling that distance. Anyway.
Humans are crazy. We made that. We created that.
Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to talk to Daniel about Maisie's Miami dance competition.
Well, I'll tell you about the dance competition she did. This one different than other ones we've been to. I'll tell you about it when we come back. Awesome. Save that guy. All right, that's 3.
Wow, so that crystal's coming in, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you in the video.
I know a little.
I thought it was gonna ruin our trip,
Oh boy.
and I
It's pretty early too. It was like the second night, right?
first night.
First night. That's quick.
How was Ricky Gervais?
It was good. We'll talk about it. But you know what's weird? It's he's doing what every comic does before when they're going on tour, and then they film a special at the end. Is
warm up is this fucking tour? Holy shit.
I think so.
Wow.
Because
Nice warm up.
obviously no, he had a whole bit. I mean, obviously he had an hour show that was good. And like Ricky Gervais is funny,
But he's also working some
he's
stuff
working
out.
stuff out.
No shit.
And he even mentioned, he's like, that's not going in the special. That's not going in the special. And like, so
That's even cooler that you get to see that.
so it's not polished. So it's. And
I'm
it's,
still waiting to see when our Tracy Morgan's going to pop up because he was doing that too.
But-
It's got to be soon.
You would think, like, when you play Radio City Music Hall in that venue, that you're like, oh, you got a absolutely tight, polished, but it's Ricky Gervais, you can't. So it's bizarre to have a comedian work out shit at a venue that big.
Micing at Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
And it wasn't that much. Like, obviously, it was a funny bit, but you could tell, like, his specials. You tell the difference. You know, when you understand.
All
Yeah, it's like
meshed
when
together,
you get like these.
I'm trying to appreciate the art of
I
stand-up.
don't even like them anymore, but like you'll get like these mega bands that'll come in and then they'll just get like the best venue in LA for one night only, and it's like they're just hacking through some shitty songs and just because they wanted to, and then the venue gives them the spot. You know, a lot of them are torn down now, but you know what I mean? Like they'll give you, and it's like, oh my God, like how are you even allowed to do that? All right, I will bring us back. How about that?
Yep.
Here we go. In 3, check. In 3, 2. Welcome back to a corporate time.
So Maisie went down to
Georgia?
looking
for
Yeah,
sword-
I mean it was
sword
close.
sales?
West Palm.
She went to West Palm Beach for a dance competition. You know, my daughter Maisie is actively in competition dance. This is the beginning of competition season rather. This would be her 3rd competition. She did one 2 weeks ago, then one last weekend, and now this one was this week. It's coming in every weekend as a competition.
Okay, every weekend.
Almost every weekend is a competition. I think this weekend we're free. I think we might be getting together maybe to celebrate your boy's birthday or something like.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we have to pick and choose these times when we get them. You know, we got to go. They wanted to go. And
They're all super convenient to get to, right?
Oh
They're
yeah,
right in
yeah,
your
yeah.
backyard.
Easy, very close. They're all super close.
Just take the subway.
Yeah. They don't take a long time to get to, especially when you have a hip replacement. It's extremely easy to just hop in the car and sit for hours and drive there.
So the first one was in Lakeland,
The first one
or Daytona Beach.
The first one was, I think, no, the first one was, I think, locally. It was relatively close because it was right after my surgery. Then the second one would have been Lakeland, and then this one was West Palm Beach. So this one, unlike our other ones, most of these dance competitions are probably just what you think. You get assigned a time. You know, Maisie has 2 solos and like 5 group dances, so it's a lot of dancing. They'll do the group dances on one day and her solos on one day. So you get a time. Let's say on Saturday. Go ahead.
Is this a stage in a conference like hall, like you'd see.
Yeah.
You know, some insurance convention, like they build a stage like the Orlando City Music or Orlando City Soccer Awards, where they'll build the stage. It's not at a venue.
No.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes it can be. Most of the time, they'll take like a big school, especially like your West Palm, Miami areas. You have big enough and nice enough facilities there where you could probably get a large high school or something and even do it there.
They got like an amphitheater. Or
But
something.
normally a conference room or Orlando is a really good spot. They like to do a lot of dance competitions here just because of the convention center.
Right.
Yeah.
We have so many rooms, you could run like 9 of them over there if you wanted
Gotcha.
to.
All
And
right.
their money, let's not kid ourselves, they make a lot of money from these things.
When you say competition, how do you win? What's the is it like judged like
It's
gymnastics and
Yeah.
they give you like a out of 10 score basically?
Pretty much, yeah. And they're all kind of different. Like there's different organizations that do it. Most of them you just get, like you go and let's say for Maisie, she's in the category of 9 to 11-year-olds. So she's on the younger end. She's still competing, though. With some kids, it could be like 11, almost turning 12.
Right.
I think the way it even lands, some of those girls could be 12, and just because it's 9 to 11, they just fall within that category.
Sure.
So she's on the younger side of that. So she had her 2 solos.
And then is it like track meet style where like the whole team score comes to one cumulative thing, or is it each individual event rated differently?
This was the first one that I'd seen where they actually did go through and grab individual scores, compile it, and then Maisie's dance studio ended up getting this big award, basically saying like, "Hey, all of your guys that competed
show.
did really well.
Excellent.
Like thanks for working hard," kind of a thing. But so for May's 2 solos, what's interesting about this one, unlike any other competition I've seen, where this one does not jive with Daddy, this one does not jive with Little Danny Denny, the dancer dad, Little Danny dancer dad, is that this one, most of the time you'll do your solo, you'll get off stage, everybody's like, "Oh, great job," then you have to wait, then you find out whether or not you did a good job. All Maisie wants is to get the highest level, and in this particular case it's elite. So to do really well, you would want to score at least elite. That doesn't necessarily mean you're first, second, third, fourth, fifth place. It just means, hey, for this, all the moves you were executing, you did them right. You practiced enough. We can see that you were polished enough. You put in the time. Your placement, your movement was smart. Your choice of music, your facial expressions, all of that, right?
Yeah. You are elite.
You are elite, but it doesn't show you whether you're first through whatever. You may not even place.
So there's maybe somebody got 100, maybe somebody got a 91. They all get A's. Right? Like they're all in that grouping regardless.
This one is like that, but where this one is crazy different, and it was all people from Miami and all big girls, and these girls, like Maisie's 9, a 9-year-old in Miami, I'm sorry, she's like 6 foot tall, full bush, literally, these are like grown ass women doing flips and stuff. I'm like, who the hell are these people? When they do this particular competition, they don't let you figure out what you get later at awards. As soon as you come off stage, it's like, Maisie Dennis, you're in first place. Now look at your score, and you have nowhere to go but down. It's kind of like, they do it like Hunger Games, man, where it's like, I was watching the screener here.
They just blast you in the face with your
horns.
score.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was watching here while I was putting in these new cameras, so I had it on this computer big as hell, and I had it up, and I had it loud. They put up a big graphic, and then if you go, they instantly give you your score on a graphic, shove it in your face, and they're like, "You're in 5th place," or "You're in," it was like, so Maisie launched into first place, but then as people were coming in, it was like, I just watch her keep going down. Because they like older girls. She got 5th. We got 5th place. But this one was different because in a time when most parents would vote against this, at a time when most parents, I think instructors, dance instructors, educators, most parents, most dads and moms, like when you see this, most people would be like, "Oh my God, that's just too much." I don't know. I was kind of glad that she had to go through it because it was so intense, and I caught her peeking. Like after she got in with her first solo, she saw herself go to first place. That's going to change your psyche going into the second solo. I don't like that. And she did peek, and she saw it. And then she saw herself go down. And then so we had to talk about like, well, did you get overconfident? Would you have preferred to not look at it? Like that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I liked it because it was kind of aggressive. Like it was... Like it rattled my little anxiety bones. I didn't know they were going to do it, and I had it up here, and then they just started putting up all the graphics, and it's like, here's your score. Now watch yourself lose live real time. It's crazy.
But you've also, this is a group of girls that like competition and have already essentially been vetted towards
it's in
being
there.
competitive
It's in there.
and hardworking because they are all doing, this dance, which occupies a ton of time,
Too much
and they
time,
travel to these competitions.
Yeah.
So it's like you're, taking the week out of it. So I think they probably gravitate towards the score in your
Well, it
face,
did get
high
her.
pressure.
It did get her.
You're
'cause
you're talking about the kind of people who hate losing.
yeah.
So when you rub it in their nose that like all these other people are winning and they're not.
Yeah.
Oh, there definitely were some girls crying on the way home for sure.
Absolutely,
Uh-huh.
it was more aggressive, and I'll say that. Like, and I don't want to overspeak, and I'm not pointing anybody out, but yeah, I think there were more sad faces at this one because they did do it. So it was so, again, in a time when this isn't the norm. Like, I don't see this. Like, this is something that maybe you would have seen years and years and years ago or something. Like, I feel like things are a lot more, like, we don't want people feeling bad, or we don't want you to get upset because you got, or you still get a medal and participation trophy, this, that, and the other. Yeah, this was weird to me.
As a natural loser,
Me too, buddy.
You can mail me the results. I don't need to know them, even today.
Yeah, this was, somebody in the chat room said it's like NASCAR qualifying. Yeah, it was very much like that. And so I talked to Maisie about it, and we had agreed going into it that she was not going to look because it's up on the screens. And you can't not. You get off stage,
Right.
somebody runs over the iPad, they're like, and then she saw it. And then I was like, well, how did it make you feel? And she's like, it really added nerves. Like, she's like, this was the most nervous I've ever been.
And then she had to go perform again after that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, she did. Now, I
Awesome.
will say she didn't do as well. Like, you could do the social experiment.
Right.
If you were doing it, you could see the nerves in the score. You could.
And so that affected her. But you know what? This next time, if there is a situation like this again, the next time it will affect her a little bit less.
Correct.
And then this is perfect because, like most of these, are they going to be professional dancers at the end of the day?
No.
Probably not. So
No.
what is this about? This is about learning life lessons. And you learned, in this instance, sometimes you go into a situation and get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
And you still have to keep going.
And at 9, to be on the younger side of things and do that well, 5th place, I was very proud of her. Like, maybe even more than a first, because it was something new, something super crazy scary. Like, probably scared me more than her, obviously, but yeah, I was very proud of the 5th over
And
the
still
first.
in the hunt. Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't like the subjectivity of dance, and I'm sure Maisie's probably too.
Oh,
with
you're
me
speaking.
too.
No, she's 100% with you because she's a technical dancer. Where she loses it is she gets in her own brain, and her facial expressions will sometimes get a little wonky, and she gets downgraded for that.
Anytime you have judges, I'm always
Right. How
suspicious.
accurate is
yeah,
that?
Yeah, it's like
Do you have any biases?
Yes,
Yeah.
are things getting added onto this? So personal experience, friends,
Is
there's
one of these kids your niece?
too much corruption.
Yeah,
run
absolutely.
this like the CrossFit games. It was just like, have you done 10 push-ups?
Now
and,
you brought up something I wrote
100
down.
whips.
You brought up so you're bringing. I didn't even know you were going to go to this, but
the judge counting them, and it's like, done.
Let me bring this up.
First place in the time.
So where are we at now? I mean, we are at a time where theoretically you could have a human judge, and then you could have 3 cameras there that are grading Maisie and other dancers based on their technical aspect, and then the human guy is giving you your human judge rating on the human aspect of dance. You could do that. I mean, it's possible to do that now.
And you're right about judging. I forget. I think it was the New York orchestra, maybe like Philharmonic Orchestra or something. There was a complaint about like how many female, let's say like oboists there were or something, right?
Yeah.
And so
I like a male oboe man.
and say they had like 100 oboists. I'm just using dumb numbers to keep it easy. And like one of them was female, like with the in person, like, hello, how are you audition. And they went to like closed audition. They only heard like the oboe without seeing who played it at all. And they added way more female oboists. And again, I got the instrument wrong. I got the numbers wrong. But that's a true thing that happened. Closed auditions as opposed to an open audition, there are different results.
Yeah, because your personal, even though if you tell yourself, like, I am being 100%
As
by the book.
objective as I can.
Yeah. And it's still your own brain.
You got stuff in there.
Yeah. And you lean one way or the other. And although I guess with these competitions, you want Maisie to go through winning and losing and striving to be better, which is probably better for her because now she's got, if she just came in here first place every time.
I would hate that.
I often think about that with
I do not want that. Like that would bother me and scare me because then I'd go to Andrea.
Yeah.
And be like, well, is this even real?
Right.
Like, what are we doing here? Because she just seems to be blowing through this like it's no big. And then there isn't a part of me that says, like, I have to keep an eye on it. Like, how much of this is money making? How much of this is Barbizon? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here?
Although, yes, it is business and there's money involved, but the just learning to practice something, be good at it, compete, and have results after. Everything about it is good for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
It's like the exercise, the going through the emotions of the nervousness of perform. I mean, on paper, this is I would pay 10 times as much than what you're paying to get my boys half of this.
A lot of money.
But they're not driven to it. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
don't want to, they're not motivated to do it.
Also,
And so
we
it's
found
like,
a video from when Maisie, before dancing, this is funny too, I can end on this one. We found a video, I found it over the weekend. It's like a little video of her out back, like right at the beginning of like COVID when things are starting to shut down, and she was not in dance. And COVID basically is how she found dance. And she had a baby pool, and I just had on, remember the song Sandstorm? So
Oh, yeah.
that's playing. And she's in a baby pool, and she's dancing as if she is on the stage. And I'm like, well, there it is. It's like
It was in there the whole time.
yeah, he was there the whole time.
What's sad is the people that like Maisie that all they want to do is dance and no one lets them do it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot. There are tons of those
or you
people.
can't afford to do it or whatever.
Oh,
even
yeah.
though there's
It's
other
expensive, man.
like you couldn't do this poor, but you could do something similar if you had parents that were taking you somewhere. But if you don't have that, then you got nothing.
Oh, and shout out to the Brightline for, again, like Maisie and Andrea took the Brightline.
It's really nice.
I was not going to go. I'll be going on the next one because now I'm starting to move around without a cane, which is a lot easier. So they love the Brightline. They packed sandwiches because they're cheapos, and they got on their Brightline. I think it was like $250 a ticket, round trip. They loved it. The amenities were great, super fast.
Always look for a coupon. When we did the family trip, we found a coupon for like half off.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then for certain instances, I could see like this one, perfect. Like you're staying at a hotel near the convention center or near the Brightline. It's like, okay, it works out perfect. But most other scenarios, like people are like, oh, take the Brightline down to Miami. And then it's like, then what? They're like Uber, $100 Uber ride to somewhere, then I have to have people drop you back off. It's nowhere close
Get
to
a hot dog.
It all
Miami hot dog.
the rest, a lot of other destinations don't make sense. And then it's like $200 a ticket. I'll just drive.
Dude, I'm going in middle of August to see The Weeknd, and it was $50 each way with taxes.
Okay, all right.
So, I mean, I feel like that, counting drive time, counting gas, counting parking at the stadium, I feel like I'm way under.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
I will have to kill like 5 hours in the middle of the night in Miami.
But
Small price to pay. From like end of show till 5 in the morning, I will just be wandering the streets of Miami looking for something to do, but small price to pay.
Now,
Otherwise, I'd be driving.
I didn't expect you to say that.
yeah.
I would have come wander with you.
There will be a time like 3 hours in where you'll be like, God damn, like, I should have just tried. I would have been home by now. Like, that's
I'd be more than halfway.
The worst. Because Crystal does it to me all the time. Where we're like,
hold on, I knew we'd get the gripes at some point.
Because far enough advance, Crystal's like, let's just, we're doing this. We're going to Sweden. We have like a 5-hour layover in New York. Anyway, and then we're getting back.
They're going on this Wednesday. They're going. I think, aren't you guys going to Costa Rica for a quick surfing trip on Wednesday? I think.
And then there's always inevitably the moment where you're like the most miserable because of that, like the peak miserable where you like look at it and you start doing the math where
I hate you.
you're like, well, would I have paid more money than I saved to be home right now. Like, and every time we do this, I'm like, yes, I would at that moment. Now, after you're like, oh, okay, I'm glad it's all over.
Have you ever had a
Before,
trip with no? Have you ever had a trip where in the middle of it you didn't want to kill yourself or snap yourself home?
There's never been a point where saving money, I was not willing to pay that exact amount of money to snap myself home at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like when at 4:30 in Miami, when you realize, oh, I could have been home right now in my bed.
Yeah.
If I just drove, it would have cost me $200 more, but I'd pay $200 to do. But then again, it fades later, and then days
You still
later,
got that money.
yeah. So you got to remind yourself. You're like, okay, this will pass.
Yeah,
But-
it's like a craving.
but at
right?
that
or
point-
like,
at
or
that
anger.
point-
Well, what did Colette say? It only lasts like 90 seconds.
Yeah. Like,
You got to get through that 90 seconds.
And I think what I have going for me is that the casino's open all night.
Oh, are you
So I
still
can-
addicted? Are you?
Here's the problem, though. Apparently, I got addicted to gambling in Kansas at the Kansas City Crossing Casino.
Yeah.
Which is a 4-story hotel, to put it in perspective for you. Having stayed in a 50-story hotel recently.
Yeah.
And apparently, the $5 poker table I got used to is not industry standard. I've been told now that you can't find that $5 table anywhere here in Florida.
Yeah, that does not exist.
That's my problem
so they
right
suckered
now.
you in with the poor guy table.
Yeah.
Well, I
Right.
just got
In
used to like
Kansas.
small
This happened
city
to me.
gambling.
Yeah,
This
small
happened to me
city
on a
gambling.
cruise ship. I was playing some game and I loved it, and then I went to like a real casino. They're like, "That's not a thing. You're a baby."
Yeah.
Damn it.
I can't even remember. I guess the closest small town casino was in Mississippi.
Why don't we start one? Let's start. Tom and Dan and Ross. Let's start a casino, a local Orlando casino.
You know, like I thought about. I was like, I should just be a bookie, and because it doesn't seem like anybody gets arrested for that. And then I'm still thinking about it.
Okay, all right, that's good to know.
Because I was like, I can book bets.
Oh.
No one understands. Like you
I like
win
that
all
you
the
gave us
time.
no update on what happened there. You're like, just letting you know, I am still contemplating being a bookie. Back to you, Dan. I'm like, okay.
Because I really honestly think even if I advertised it to our listeners and started booking, like I'm like, I don't
I
think
want to be the money guy, and let me explain.
the
now.
cops would arrest me.
Can I explain something? I want to be the
No,
guy.
seriously, don't.
I want to be the guy that drives to the guy to pick up the cash. You know why? Because I got a cane now, and it looks cool.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, it's all through Cash App and stuff.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I like good on. I like skin on skin Hawaiian justice. I like
Yeah.
meeting my.
bookie and then dropping them off
Yeah,
the money and
yeah.
getting the money. It's
I used to
better.
buy weed like that. You go
Yeah.
door to door. You just pass it through.
Yeah.
I used to buy my weed at the Altamont Mall parking lot. Shout out to Gary from Trinity Tattoo.
Now it's all digital.
Yep.
So if in this all this pondering about being a bookie, have you ever like tried to set a line?
The website does it now, and you don't have to do it yourself. It's all just you subscribe to a website, and then the website literally does every single thing for you, and then you just collect the money.
That was a lot of words for no. So yeah, you've never tried to set a line,
I
much
can-
less adjust one on the fly based on your gambling volume. Like, do you even have any?
Hey, it's all does it. The apps do it yourself. It's like I haven't looked at where
Do
to
you want
drive.
to know
and
how much
GPS
apps
does
can
it.
do now?
Yeah.
Do you
It
wanna
does
know
it
how
everything.
Sure.
Do you want to know how AI? We can end with this, and I'd save this, but we can do it here. I invented. My daughter challenged me. She goes, "Can you?" I was like, we're talking about ChatGPT. She's like, I was like, we can do anything we want to with it. She's like, can you make a video game? Can you make a Flappy Bird video game? I'm like, let's see. I made a Flappy Bird video game with it, with ChatGPT.
So you just asked, make me a video game, and then it popped up.
I
on
popped.
what?
Okay, I popped up a coding side of things. You ask for the coding side, and it'll pop up the coding side. And I was like,
I think me and Tom are already out.
can you code me Flappy